I went to my settings this time. Let's try it. I'm all like lagging out. Yep. We're gonna like rewrite it every time. Cause this one might not work too. Okay, looks like
I'm joining it now.
alright, there shouldn't be any echo. Todd.
I don't hear anything.
Cool, I think we're good. I think I fixed it.
We're good. What'd you have to do, by the way, just for future? Did you go into like your video settings or what?
Yeah,
I mean,
I had to go into the actual settings. Let's see, pop a share. Let's get some people in here, then we'll start shooting the shit.
I'm getting a little echo, but I don't know like what that's coming from. But it's not even like too noticeable. I think it's just like through the Discord.
Probably.
Yeah, it's not even a lag actually. It's just an echo, so I think it should be fine. What's I've never even heard of this this app before. This Discord thing.
It's just a gaming thing, surprisingly. So it's just meant for gaming.
Yeah, it seems like it works pretty well. All right. Well, I mean, yeah, we can kind of just shoot the shit until more people get in here, but
Cool.
pretty much. I mean, I guess since these get back saved anyway, we can kind of just start chatting away and see where it goes from there. But let me see. Oh, I don't have my fucking candles not in the shot.
The candle. Yeah, I threw.
Set the mood. Oh shit.
I threw a share on it and then start.
Yeah.
Bombarding.
But do you even have a candle to set the mood?
I don't. So Salt Rock.
Oh, that's pretty solid.
I think we have the bow bands in here.
Where do you guys play at? Our respected homes.
Yeah. Bunch of playboys.
Referring to playing music, our local venue is Soma in San Diego, which is where we played as a band beforehand. A majority of our shows, but yeah, we're from San Diego, California, so that's kind of our venue around here.
Probably our main one, our main band. Yeah, I don't know. There's like what Brick by Brick now too.
I've never been there. I haven't been to that venue, and I don't know. I feel like we need another good like in between venue that was like that kind of hosts more like DIY type shit, like because obviously we've always had Soma, which is a solid venue like all around, like it can host like any kind of show, but
My shit, bro.
back before we had like obviously Epicenter, but also what was the Escondido venue?
Metaphor.
That was really cool. Just like a small cafe. I feel like a cafe venue like needs to come around that like a lot of people can go out to and stuff. That would be rad.
Yeah, something a little more low key. We don't have anything. I don't think we even have a North County venue. I mean, I could be completely wrong. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like we have our ear to the ground a bit on that. Like, I feel like we'd probably know about it if there was anything. But, I mean, well, I've seen people play, like, it's just nothing consistent, I think, is the problem. Like, there's record shops and stuff like that do, like, shows here and there. But nothing you could, like, count on to be a Friday night and be like, oh, I can go see a punk show, or I can go to, like, I don't know, just something that hosts things more consistently.
Cafe venue for acoustic sets. Yeah, there's like... What was that one that was really popular? I don't know if they're still around. Che Cafe? Isn't it like that was a big
Oh
one?
yeah, that was on one of the. I never went there. Like that was. I don't know. I remember seeing a bunch of stuff where it was like going through being shut down and whatnot. So I don't know if they ever kept it open. But that was on like UCSD maybe campus. I think. I never went.
I don't remember.
I saw a lot of good shows were hosted there.
There was one of my favorite. The Metaphor was tight. Epicenter was cool. That was kind of like the one that got me into like doing everything, and then going to Soma was dope.
Yeah. Yeah, Soma was like the main one. Cafe venue. You guys should look up my brother's band. What's your brother's band? Talina Craig. I'd be down to check them out.
I'd bust the browse.
I think there's something here in East County that I see people going to quite a bit that I've never been to. I'm pretty sure our buddy Freddie, right? Freddie and Amaya Lights just played that venue not too long ago, or something like that.
Yeah, I don't recall. I don't know.
There's something out here in East County. I can't recall what it's called right now.
We did used to have some pretty good like house shows. I think this is still my favorite. There was like the Safe House in Escondido. That one's like super dope. All underground.
Yeah, that's been kind of a bummer too. Is like everyone's too scared of like getting shut down and getting called the fucking cops on all the time. No, not with Stats. That's a coffee shop. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's like no in between venues. So I think that'd be like kind of the next cool thing to, if we could get a venue like that where a little bit more accessible.
I'd be down. I don't know what it would take.
Yeah.
Oh, Elliot is here. My Belliot.
Charlatan. I'll check that out.
What kind of music is it? I guess we can just find out.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool to, we could, I've seen, like, this reminds me doing this little, like, live stream update type of thing, like, it reminds me of just, I followed, like, a couple people's Twitch channels, and they kind of just, like, I've seen a lot of the big ones that do, like, they'll play, like, different artists and things like that, and, like, people are like, oh, who the fuck is this? Like, this is sick. Charlatan band. Yeah, but this is a cool feature. I'm glad that... Dude, I've been seeing a bunch of shit. Like, Facebook just came out with, like, exclusive... Like, Facebook Watch, I think it's called. Like, they have, like, exclusive shows now. Or it's like it's its own YouTube. Oh, yeah. Have you seen that on your timeline? Or not your timeline, but...
So they have their own, like, so you go to Facebook to watch their own stuff?
Dude, they've got... So, like, Gary Vee does his own... He does the Ask Gary Vee show exclusively on Facebook now. So there's a bunch of shit like that that's just Facebook exclusive, like, and it's just called Facebook Watch, so it's basically like a YouTube. And, like, where you can have your own show. Like, people have their own show, like, just like a Netflix or, like, anything like that, which is pretty fucking insane, which is, like, just the next step to Facebook eventually, like, putting out fucking movies and series and things like that. So a lot of it right now, I think, is, like, vloggers and, like, and people doing, like, exclusive, like, Facebook content that, like, drives people to it, but I think that's gonna be, like, one of the next big things for sure.
Yeah, I also think, like, even, it was a good thing with, like, even radio. If you want to talk, like, do, like, a radio talk show, it's on their time, there's a ton of ads, and no one really wants to check it out. Because when you have, like, podcasts and like this, you can do it on your own terms, you can listen to it, like, whenever you want, long drives. So, yeah, I think internet is slowly just tearing apart, like, these traditional, like, you go to this channel, watch this show, and then you have to go here to watch movies. Like, that shit's over within 5 years.
Yeah,
sure.
My favorite shit is, like, I've heard this point talked about a lot, and it's, like, a lot of us don't even own, obviously, I mean, a lot of us, we still have TVs and shit, but, like, people don't have cable boxes and things like that, obviously, like, that's a big thing. But also, even if you do and you, like, watch a show that you like on TV, like, what do you do when a commercial comes up? The first thing that you reach for is your phone. So it's like, I didn't see any of those fucking commercials. Like, all that money that you spent on that commercial to get it to my eyes, to see it, I'm looking at my phone right now. So I'm not even seeing all that money that you're putting out to do that.
Yeah, and it's like stuff you're not even interested in. You're like, that's most of the time. It's like, buy these paper towels. Like, well, I'm fucking getting paper towels. Yeah, so people, like, might be watching fucking commercials, like, technically, like, if you look at statistics or whatever, but it's like, that's not really where their eyes are at. They're probably on their phones just waiting for the show to come back. That is even to say, like, people watch shows on TV anymore. Like, I can't name anybody that watches a show on TV, like, weekly, you know? Like, do you know anybody that watches a show? No, it's all Netflix. Binge.
Yeah.
I prefer that, though. I like that way more.
For sure. I think, like, Game of Thrones, obviously, is the only one that I do. and they've kind of like they've been on that course for their whole like, and that show's so big. I think that they can get away with it. I think it kind of depends on where you're standing. But if you're like a new show and you don't like offer these things like of the new ways of it, and you're just like, well, we're gonna put out a show a week and it's gonna be on FX or some bullshit like that, like, I don't know. I think that you're doing yourself a disservice, like, because like people aren't watching your commercials that are like, I don't know. It just seems like an outdated thing.
Yeah, I don't think anyone likes to wait anymore. It got too convenient, so like no one really wants to be like, oh fuck, dude. But the only thing is like seasons. Now you're just waiting for seasons.
Yeah, and that's way better because like you said, it's all on your time, and that's what it comes down to. Is like now more than ever, we value our time. Is like the biggest thing. Is like what can we do each day to like cut down, like our hours in the day of like making them all count, like shaving off time of like to do things. Like if we can do two things at once, then we're gonna do it, which is like commercials don't fall into that, like watching a TV show with commercials and shit like that. So
yeah, I get crazy if I'm like doing some. I'll listen to a podcast. I love Jordy. He's in here now. I'll listen to a podcast. He hates when I say that. I'll listen to a podcast. Maybe if I'm like dive into a video game, and then like I'll also be on my phone scrolling through shit. I get insane.
Dude, I wish I would have saved this statistic, but I saw like an article that said something about like it was geared more towards younger kids, like listening more so to podcasts than music in their cars, like when they're driving, which is like obvious. Like that's something I do. I didn't know that number was so big of people that are also doing that.
It's way higher now.
Yeah, way higher of people like actually consuming audio podcasts like that of like in our age group. So that's pretty cool.
I like that. I feel like it's an easier way of learning. You can like do audiobooks now. It's like fucking crazy.
Right.
If you want to read a book, but you don't want to like actually read it, you can just listen to it, and you get to pick up the same amount of information. Set your weed.
Kind of crying, baby. Way past her bedtime.
What time is it? It's like 9 almost. Is it 9? Yeah, it's 9.
All right. I'm gonna let you continue this combo with Gordy for a minute.
Alright. What's up, Gordy? I'm gonna call you
Mr. Gordy.
He loves it. I like that. You're kind of browsing it out. If you want, you guys can jump in at any time. Shoot us some questions. We'll answer them. This is just mainly us hanging out, talking shop. So whatever you guys want to do. We've just been working out. Well, actually, something we'll probably talk a little bit more about is we're diving into merch like next month. So maybe even earlier. It depends on when we get the order in. We should have some t-shirts and whatnot. Talk about Casey. How's Revin? My playboy, my little homie. He's like meowing at my door. Actually, I don't want him in here. He'll distract.
Alright, we're good. Yeah, I like this whole like joining as a guest thing too. I think that's like a cool feature that Facebook has. I think you could probably expand on even more too. Like having more people in here. Like should we even have in here?
Yeah, I wish we could. Oh yeah, hoodies are coming back. I wonder if like Facebook should take that like a big step forward, make it like the new Stickam, dude. Like just fuck it, get like 8 people in a chat. Like why not?
I mean, they got like all everything, like everything else. Like if it wasn't, what are they losing? And I another.
Yeah, like what Twitch is, but yeah, that's not really a Stickam thing though. There isn't, yeah. Omegle, dude. Ooh, you could expand on that. Talk about Connor's transition to a photographer.
Sorry, my shit's Oh, are you guys talking about merch?
I talked about it a little bit.
Oh. Transitioning from shit, man. Me and Tyler just wrote a song like 2 weeks ago, so I'm still like,
Kind of.
I still like have those urges to like do my thing as far as like expressing myself musically. So it's like I kind of still feel like I'm doing that in a sense. Like I haven't sat down and wrote a song in forever, but like me and Tyler were just hanging out like 2 weeks ago, and we like threw together a song that was really cool, and it kind of like blended like a lot of my style that I like, and Tyler kind of helped me with kind of like song structuring and things like that. So that was cool to kind of get something out like that again. Like that felt really good just to sit down and write something. So all that's definitely still there. I'd love to shit. I'm definitely not um, like riding off being in a band again. Like I think that my time will come for something like that. I'm kind of just following what I think is right to do right now. So like, and photography kind of has all my attention. And but yeah, I still very much so want to play music in the future because it still like has a calling for me. I feel like I didn't finish what I started in a sense. So I think yeah, for sure. Like that's still a big part of me. I got like a weird like rush when I wrote that song with Tyler, which was really cool. So I think that there'll definitely be something still on the horizons for that.
Yeah, it's getting easier and more accessible to do. Because back in the day, we weren't really recording ourselves. We had to go to a studio, you know. That was like
Yeah.
So happy to help. No,
Right.
yeah, I don't think it's one of those things because you can use it as a side hobby. Like we could literally.
Oh shit, Evan's in here. Long time no see. Every time I listen to like I was trying to find the other day like lines with Evan's vocals on them. I think there's only like one on YouTube. I wish I had more, but like I love me.
Killer vocal, and then I'm missing him.
Yeah.
I wonder what if he's still in Seattle?
I don't think he's here anymore.
My sad lad.
Fuck, I wish you could check. That's one thing is you can't check like who's live. I don't think. At least I'm not able to see who's actually in here currently because I can see the number, but I can't see like names of people.
Yeah, it just kind of says like his like viewers. But
Let's see.
we could talk about
shit,
merch. I brought merch up a little bit. We could like expand.
Yeah, we can talk about that. We've got like some cool stuff coming up like sooner than I even thought, which is cool. But pretty much we're gonna do like a fall line, which will be kind of like a trial run. It's not gonna be like a huge run of things, but we're gonna have like 3 or 4 different items that'll be really nice for fall. Like we posted on our Instagram that long sleeve, which will be cool. I've been super into wearing long sleeves lately, so that'll be one for sure that we're doing. I saw that somebody said hoodies. I'm obsessed with. I could have like 5 black hoodies and just be fucking all winter. I don't think I know what other thing you mean.
The windbreakers, I guess.
Oh shit, dude! I'd be down to do that with our. I think that'll probably come. Yeah, like right after October. I say like November-ish time. Yeah, windbreakers are definitely on the horizon. Like, fuck, I love wearing windbreakers. So I mean, who doesn't? Like, super fucking easy to just throw on. Throw like a hoodie under it even.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool to actually get some physical things going on this. I have like, I do have these though.
Yeah, we've got those stickers are sick. Yeah, so we'll like release all that shit, and then I think like eventually we want to do, or maybe even with this one is just like kind of trinket style shit. Like I've always wanted to do just like pins and things like that, just like fun stuff like pins and a bunch of different styles of sticker, like a sticker pack and like mugs and shit like that. Just like everyday things, like just because those are things that I think are cool that I get from like if I like whenever I order something from like an online retailer or something and it comes with like a pack of 5 stickers that are all different or like whatever amount of stickers, like I'm always like that much more stoked that I got like merch from that clothing company or band or whatever it might be. Just that I don't know, just having like those extra little things kind of adds a lot to it for me.
So I want to do bottle openers pretty soon. I think that would be dope.
Yeah, so lots of stuff coming in the realms of merch for sure. And then shortly after
Super.
we do like the merch design, we want to do. This is something we did like a long time ago when we were playing music. Was we had like barbecues, slash kickball events at like our local park where we all lived, or it was kind of like a central location in Poway. So that was cool. I feel like we're gonna do a lot more of those where we kind of just get everybody together, and then if you want, you can buy merch, which because we'll have it there. And but really, it's more about just kind of hanging out and again. Sorry. Yeah. I just see you smile.
Lagging out too hard.
Yeah, it's pretty laggy, like on the green fucking on your live stream, but
I wonder if I should just drop it to my phone signal.
What are you streaming it on? Your
home Wi-Fi.
Yeah, maybe give it a shot. See if like the data's better.
Maybe.
Nah.
We back at it.
And we back. Yeah, I think it's looking better.
Alright, cool. Fuck it. Let's run off my phones.
How's mine look? I don't know. Mine, I look clear as shit, obviously, through mine.
Yeah.
I don't know. On your end, what does it look like?
It looks good on my phone. I'm on Facebook now trying to check it out.
Yeah, yours on the fucking both looks like fairly blurry.
Yeah, classic. So we something. Let's see if anything else is popping up. We should be Gooch. Probably back at it.
Yeah, yours looks better.
Cool. Connecting. I think we're back. We have like 3 other people using the internet, all probably playing like Destiny right now.
Yeah. Told them to fucking do something with their lives.
I think it's all lagged out.
It looks better on my phone.
That's good. Just hope it stays that way. Yeah, I'm checking it. I feel like it looks fine. Now we're good. Go back at it.
I never found that band though. Charlotte's, and maybe this is it.
But I wonder if it's on like
maybe this is it. 5.7K. Revival recordings.
That's cool. It's all like super loud.
Huh, sounds pretty cool. I doubt she's still in here, but good stuff. We'll shoot them. I'm gonna shoot it a like right now.
Throw it on the TL.
Boy, I stay listening to your band. Actually, I haven't heard much from. I don't know. I don't know what I've heard from your band, Gordy. I'm not too sure. What do you guys have? Do you guys have shit done or what?
Possibly.
Boy.
I think with like our Discord, we're still ahead of like the Facebook chat, so it takes like 20 seconds or 10 seconds to transmit.
Yeah, it's pretty. It seems like it's pretty far ahead. It's fine. I'm just chilling.
My cat's all crying at my door, and I feel bad.
Yeah, I was thinking. I saw that. Let his bitch ass in.
It's my little playboy. I'm gonna like knock something over getting up, and then it's gonna like restart it.
Oh, we've got I was just like cleaning shit up today, and I found that old interface. I think we should try to do something with that.
Oh, that blue one. Monkey down.
Yeah, we what we started doing our podcast on was just a little 2-channel interface that we recently upgraded. So we're thinking about doing a bit of like a pass it on thing for anybody that's interested in doing starting their own podcast or even doing recording things as well.
Got us started, so we might as well share the love.
Yeah, so that's we're kind of figuring out a way of how we want to give it away, but shit, if anyone's watching this or watching it later while it's not live, shoot us a comment on this video and just kind of let us know if you're in need of an interface, or if you have any interest at all in doing a podcast about like something that you like, or if you're into music production like Tyler is.
It's a good way to start.
A good little starter interface. So I'm trying to find a way to give it back a little bit.
It will definitely get you going.
Yeah.
To help you learn. Yeah, it'd be cool to do like a little raffle or something.
Mm.
Ooh, looks like he might be releasing a single sometime soon. Playboy.
Boy, you better.
Start dropping some dope songs.
Dropping the fire.
Yeah, I wonder what else like Saddle Off there. I think about that a lot.
Dude, I don't know where that thing could be. It's got to be here somewhere, I assume.
Forever gone.
Until I move out, maybe.
That's like best bet. Yeah, I think I'll find it one day again.
Go, boy. Go. Jump up there. Mox is being crazy. Yeah, but what are you up to lately? What have you been recording some stuff or not really? Just kind of working?
I took the month off to do my own shit. It was my birthday, or like a week ago now. So we have to finish up our band stuff. So just doing that. We're almost done. Hopefully done within November. Yeah. So game plans to finish all our shit in November. But finally.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll see. So yeah, I don't want to take any projects on. I have a couple booked this month, but I kept it pretty mellow. I was super overwhelmed with how much shit I was doing the last few months that I needed to like chill out. I couldn't like put my focus on like so many things. I literally overextended. I got all my shit done, then I realized like I need to fucking chill out.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's kind of like good to reset and like reflect on. Like but that kind of helps. Like when you go too hard, sometimes you're like, okay, I can't take this much on. I need to kind of take a step back, and then that's what I find myself doing. Like, because when I do that, I burn myself out, and then I almost get like uncreative for like or two, and then I have to like break out of that funk somehow. And I think it's important not to really like pressure your brain into like work mode, like produce, like get things out. Otherwise you end up burning yourself out a little bit quick, and that's something that I've like struggled with the past like I don't know, forever. Well, I think that I'll probably always go through that, but I think the thing that I've learned the most recently is just to kind of like pace myself and get shit done, get things out, and then more so I guess what I'm trying to say is just like baby steps make the bigger picture eventually.
Yeah, and then you get to figure out like how much you can definitely take on. Because it was like it wasn't even worth the money at the end. Like that's when I started like it was cool, but I wasn't like sleeping very well, and then I was starting like to hate doing it. You know, that's where I had to draw the line.
Right.
I was like, okay, I do too much shit. And then like on top of doing your own band shit, and then on top of doing this, and then trying to do school, fuck no. There's no way. You know, no one. I don't think anyone's capable of doing that much shit.
On the real though, like if Randy's down to do vocals, that'd be super sick to have a female fronted, like just heavy as fuck band, and she just yells about cats or something.
She's not down, dude. She's down.
She better be down.
I'd be super down. Do some like knock loose style stuff, but with Randall.
Yeah, but she's just fucking yelling about cats.
But her stage name is Randall McBandle. She never lets me
Rand Dizzle.
He hates when I call her Randall McBandle.
That's her wrestling name.
Yeah.
Like her finishing move is the Rand Dizzle for shizzle.
That'd be fucking cool. She's like got those light up shoes on and shit, all swagged out.
She fucking heelys over to you with the light up shoes and just elbows your ass.
That'd be fucking cool. I'm so down. Looks like
I feel like everybody has to have like their wrestling alter ego. Like you have to have that ready to go in case one day like Vince McMahon was like, yo dude, I'm gonna need you to wrestle for me tonight. Like you have to be like, I got my name ready, like I'm good to fucking go. Like I already know my finisher. Let's do it.
I'd just be the toddler.
You have a diaper on.
Little bib. I fucking and just start fucking pulls up.
You spit up on them.
That's my finisher.
They just fucking pin themselves. They're like, fuck this.
What would yours be, dude?
I'm like contradicting myself because I never thought about what mine would be. I'd obviously be the con man actually. I'd be wearing like a suit and like I'd have a bald ass head or something. Like I'd just be like, yeah, goatee. Like I'd be just kind of like the typical like piece of shit undercover guy. Like I got like small glasses on and shit. Like,
you got a briefcase always.
Yeah, I'm the con man. I'm always ready for my next setup or whatever I'm trying to do.
I'd be down, dude. Let's fucking do it. We just start.
We could start backyard wrestling.
We could.
If we ever get to the point where we have a fucking backyard.
Yeah, no, that's the grind now. That's the only reason why we want to get a house.
I'm trying to make it.
Did you ever play that shit? It was
Yeah, fuck yeah.
ICPs were in it. I remember that. That was the first time I heard about ICP. It was like you could backyard wrestle with them. It was pretty tight. So
this is funny. I'm scrolling my Facebook right now and I just saw a Brian Stars video come up.
Oh lord.
I thought that dude was not around anymore.
Same. He had like a lot of fallout.
Dude, on the real, that guy fucking played it really right. Like I'm guaranteed that guy's chilling really hard off of everything combined that he produced content wise, you know?
I don't think how do they work? I don't know. Yeah, I don't. He was pretty smart. I think we even had a video up by him, but he definitely got a Brian Stars.
Yeah, and he got all of the view, like and we were thought like, oh, that's sick. Like we got attention off of it, like it got views and stuff. But shit, man, he got like off of a couple of our videos, probably like 150,000 plays that were all monetized on his channel because we gave him like the rights to it or whatever. So he got all the ad revenue, which was like, fuck. Imagine how many bands were doing that.
Oh, it's ton.
I mean, you don't even have to do the math, but he's obviously probably a millionaire just off of YouTube ads in itself. Not to mention like, fucking like deals that people have done with him. So it's cool. I mean, he did it right, and regardless of like him being
Who
a
he
hero
is.
or whatever.
Yeah, who he is. He did some sort of business thing, right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Could be
Let's
worse.
see, what have I been thinking about lately? I'm trying to think about like what's new in like your world of music. What have you been listening to lately?
New Counterparts. That's all I give a shit about right now.
Yeah.
The New
No, it's
Counterparts
dope.
is so fucking good, dude. They have like that one, Thieves. That song is like a minute 16,
Mm.
and it is stupid fucking cool. It reminds you of like 2006 and 7, where you just get all giddy off a break. They're like, oh, that was so fucking
No,
good.
yeah, I like that all the fucking little squee. Like, I like it when bands just like, yeah, I like that. Like, like it could come off as like cheesy, like wait, like too heavy, but it's like fuck it, we just went all the way and like made it hard as fuck.
Yeah, like that's like a band to me where they don't have an agenda. They're just playing music because they like to play music, and it's good as
Yeah,
fuck.
they're really good at it too. Like, it's kind of great. Like a lot of bands try to sound like them, you know, like how they have like such technicality to their music, but it's also just like really rhythmic and like flowy hardcore at the same time and metal. But there's a lot of like technical things if you listen to like how their guitars and instrumentals are played. Like,
Dude, their drummer
it's kind of crazy actually.
fucking insane. He's so
Yeah, they're
good.
extremely talented. Like, you couldn't just pass them by. Like, I mean, I guess the untrained ear could just be like, oh, this is just another like heavy band. But they definitely like they have so much technicality to their music, like, which is I think a lot of people overlook.
Longevity too. They're not doing any fucking like niches. They're not trying to be like a fucking trendy band. They came out with like a super dope, another sick fucking album. Like where he's
Yeah, I think that they.
Did we talk about 100th last time we did this? Or they just did a I don't remember.
I'm not sure if we did. Yeah, I think we did talk about 100th. Yeah.
Or they just did like a complete like it ended up flopping on them. I like the album. I think their new album is great, but they did it in a way where they just tried to hop on something and it didn't work. So it wasn't.
Yeah.
It didn't just drop into it. It's like here it is. This is us now. There wasn't any like.
They kind of they released a couple singles that were a little bit more towards that lighter side, but they still had like, yeah, because it was still they still did a lot of like, it had heavier aspects, but yeah, then that new album kind of just like really followed that same pattern of oh shit, sorry, I was watching something weird. Yeah, no, I like the album. I don't know how good it did, but yeah, they kind of just jumped like directly into a different style, I feel like, so that probably turned a lot of people off to their sound. But on a different note for them, that band has always been like fucking killer with their merch designs. I've always thought that band has like done their branding like super well. That's one of those bands where like you just see their logo and you can be like, oh, there's 100th. Or even if you don't know about it at all, like people can rock their stuff that's not even a fan of it and just be like, oh, this looks sick, like I'm down. I think that's what every band and brand strives to do, and I think they did that super well. So props to them for that forever.
Yeah, it's always the hardest. That's the hardest thing about being in a band. Making sure like it's simple enough and recognizable enough. Like at Starbucks, you know what a fucking Starbucks logo is. You're like, that's
right.
Starbucks. Anywhere you're at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's like the goal of everyone, to keep it like to have that logo, just to like to recognize it and instantly be able to connect it with a name or a face or music or whatever that is. Like I think they did that. They've always done that super well. Like I think even I don't know if their first album had it, but I think ever since after like their breakout single that was like really good that had the Ghost Inside vocalist on it. Like after that album, like 2011 or whatever, they always had that key logo, and then since then it was just like, well, fuck, I know that's 100th now.
Yeah, it was tight. Smart. You just did some. We can't even really talk about it, but behind the scenes stuff. Can you sprinkle a little light on that?
Yeah, I've actually that's kind of been something that has kind of fell into my lap with being friends with a lot of musicians that are still playing in bands, and me doing more of the photography side of things now. Just kind of going along with them and then taking the behind the scenes pictures and things like that, because that's something that I always wish we had when I was playing music was someone to like document the experience. Like, or what I would like to even do next would be like into making like music festivals and like what really goes on with things like that, because I think there's a lot more than meets the eye. Like people just see the finished product. So I think there's a lot to be said about like things that happen behind the scenes. So yeah, I had a really cool opportunity like these past couple of weeks to go up to LA and do a photo shoot for a behind the scenes music video for a band that I've liked for a long time, and a lot of people like really love this band. So that's been something like not only that I really like doing, but to get the opportunity to do it with a band that like I'm like super excited about was really sick. So I think that's been really cool for me. That's been like an aspect of photography that's completely different too, because it's like shooting a live show, but also not, because you're shooting so many takes of one scene. So it's kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, so I guess I could relate it a lot to like shooting a live concert.
Yeah, that's tight. No, it was cool. We got the news. I was super excited.
For sure. Yeah, I don't get like butterfly feelings too often, or I feel like it takes a lot to get through, but I got like a random text one day and was like, "Hey, do you want to come do this?" And I was like my stomach dropped, and I was like, "Fucking A." Like, I sure do.
Oh, I guess, dude. Maybe.
Yeah, I've never replied to something so quick, and I was never like happier that I was just like, had my phone by my side right then, because I just it was just like it came and I saw it like a minute later, and it was fucking just cool. So that's been fun. I'm excited for that's like I think that's the goal, is to have more moments like that, of like having that feeling of just like, fuck yeah, like this feels good. I'm doing something good. My work is paying off. So that was cool. I'm excited for more of those. I think next up will hopefully be like with all the merch and stuff, and seeing everybody, that if we can gather everyone to come out and kind of just hang out, which is what the whole idea behind Blackgate is in the first place, was building back a community again. So that'll be really cool to get everybody together and like, I don't know, just kind of like a place to share ideas again, which is something I think that was lost for a while. So I'm excited for that too.
Yeah, I just want a community. Like I don't think anyone's really doing that right now, which kind of sucks. Like we used to have it, now it's gone. Like just anyone can come hang out, you know? Fuck, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Like just be bros, hang out.
Yeah, and I think it's like people that are just trying to do something with themselves as well. Like you don't even really have to be involved in the music scene. I've been thinking there's like this website called like Meetup.com that kind of just like that like has people that meet for different like avenues of what you're interested in, and I think that's like a super cool thing to check out if you're like trying to explore new friend groups, or like find people that have similar interests, or even if you're trying to find a new interest, like find inspiring people. Like I think that's what really keeps us going, is like being the product of the people that you're around. Is like, are the people you're hanging out with, do they have big ambitions? Because that's going to make you that much more ambitious like every day. If you're texting with somebody like, "Hey man, like what are you doing today?" Like, "Oh, I'm doing this project," or "I'm fucking going out and doing something cool with my day," or whereas the other end of that could just be, "Oh, I'm just fucking chilling, I'm bored." Like, I don't know, man. I think that's an important one, is to find your friend group, and or if not, yeah, make the new friend group of inspiring people. So that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, because there's too many people not doing a whole lot of things, but not like it's their fault. But I feel like there's not a lot of options to where you can expand. You know, that's why I think it's cool if you have a community of people doing all this like different shit, and you can expand on each other's ideas. You know, it makes everything better. It's not just self gain. You get like a whole community. It's always the goal.
Yeah, I work at a couple, my side gig now, which is just working at a couple different bars. One of the guys came up to me, one of my coworkers was talking about like a community of photographers that get together once a month, or like photographers, videographers, like people of that nature that come together once a month. And the guy that runs it, his family started like their own reality TV show on YouTube.
Oh yeah, that
So it was
sounds
just
wild.
like reality TV, like vlog style. They did it, and it's just like him, his wife, and they got like a couple of little kids and stuff, and they just vlog, and it's like, so it's essentially reality TV. And they got to the point like they've got like tons of subscribers, and like somewhere to the point where they get like $1 million an episode. Like they're making good money off of like doing their episodes of the season. And so his whole idea of like, I guess if I understood like what the guy was telling me is like they get people together, essentially the same thing that we're trying to do is like, but they bring photographers and videographers together and like kind of just shoot the shit of ideas. And it's not like a closed off group to like professionals only. Other people can come in and be like, if they're just starting, they can come and get inspiration if like maybe they had reservations about like starting photography or something like that. Like you could go to something of one of those meetings and just like kind of feel it out and be like, oh, maybe this is for me. Like, and you kind of just hear other people talk about it. So that made me inspired to kind of keep going with things like this and to have like meetups. Like, I think that's a super important thing, is to have that that physical like communion of people to get together and share ideas. Is that, I think that's when people's like the best side of people comes out.
Going back to that point you said about them doing a family TV show, right? They're doing. What did you say? $1 million? What was that?
Yeah, so I mean, they started off doing just a vlog on YouTube, a daily vlog of like just their family life, and it was just like they did it every day, just like whatever the fuck they were doing. It wasn't anything fancy. It wasn't like not every day was like they were doing something really cool, but a network picked it up, and so they got to the point where they're like $1 million an episode.
Oh, so a network did get involved. I thought like maybe a network didn't get involved. I'm like, fuck. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, shit, dude. Like, if you think about, I'm actually gonna Google this right now. Like the numbers that people like Casey Neistat gets, exactly like right when he posts a video and it's already over 1 million views.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you think about that ad revenue, like he probably makes like, fuck, dude. It's hard to judge, but.
Oh, he's balling the fuck out.
50K video, maybe. Like, I feel like he has too much to know what to do with at that point. I'm gonna look it up just to fucking get some info.
See, my favorite thing about him though is he started out poor as fuck.
Yeah, I love his story.
Yeah, same.
His story is fucking great.
It's hard to get to that point. It just shows you like hard work. You know, it could definitely do that for you.
It says that Casey Neistat, this could be like, this could be anywhere, but monthly earnings is anywhere between 50K and 160K. That's a month.
That's
off of YouTube videos.
That's a lot of money. Yeah, that's like.
And he's only 209th in the subscriber rank. That's like, fuck. I thought he was way closer to the top. But I mean, that's of everybody in the fucking world. But
because he still has a job, so there's other shit going on too.
He owns tons of companies, yeah, like all kinds of cool shit. I love that guy's story, man. I remember you told me about him first. Like, you told me a story about, I don't know, you could probably tell it better, but for people that don't know.
What, his story?
Yeah, I remember you were telling me first, and then that was before I even watched any of his shit.
Oh, word, yeah, it was like, so he was a young lad, had a kid early. He lived in a trailer for a long time, and then he just started like he worked at he was like washing dishes at like some like seafood place, and then he spent all his money to get like an iMac or whatever to start doing video editing because he was just always filming his kid, and then that's how it kind of started, just snowballed.
That's cool, man. Yeah, all it takes is like one little idea. Like, I don't know. I have so many ideas like that I get throughout the day, or just like that I kind of just like store away, that I want to do. Like, I don't know. I think all it takes is for you to act on one of them. Like, that's all he did. He could have just kept that in his head as an idea. Like, man, I wish I would, like, be filming what my kid does. Like, you know, people always say, like, man, if only we had a camera, you know, at this great event or whatever, that something just happened. Like, oh, man, if only we would have recorded that. Like, that would have been so cool. Like, I don't know. I think that you can either be one of the people that say things like, oh, man, like, if only, or you can just be, like, the person that's like, well, fuck it, like, let's do it, like, and see what happens. Like, worst case scenario, I have some good memories of shit. Like,
there's definitely a good quote on that. It's like, there's a million dollar ideas a day. So,
right.
So if you act on it, for sure. Because everyone has an idea,
but like not everyone.
Yeah, your ideas are just like bullshit. Like, everybody's got one. Like, everybody fucking takes a shit every day. Like, you know, like, I don't know. It just, unless you're doing something about it, it's just like fucking thin air. But I truly believe that everybody, like, can capitalize on whatever it is that they think, like, in their head. Like, it could be the simplest thing, you know? Like, everybody has an interest of something. Like, I talked about this on one of our, like, more previous podcasts, but just, if you love, like, Pokemon, like, card collecting or something like that, like, you could make a YouTube channel based around you talking about your Pokemon card collection and what packs you're going to pick up and why. You know, I think that there's, like, ways that you can monetize your creativity and your interest.
Yeah, it never has to be like what's a good way of explaining it? So it never has to be like the perfect thing. Like, people always overthink that all the time. It has to be this good or no one's gonna like it. It's just gotta be good enough. Someone's just gotta be like, yeah, that's cool. I like that. And then from there, and then keep spawning good enough content. That's all it is.
Yeah, but I think people look at things like, oh man, like, I'm never gonna have like a good idea like Uber, or I'm never gonna be like the next person to invent something like Uber, and it's like, start that and think like, oh, we're gonna be fucking huge. Like, you know, they just had a good idea and they capitalized on it, and they went for it. Like, it could have flopped. Like, Uber could have flopped because people could have been like, no fucking way am I getting in a car with a stranger, or much less having my 16-year-old kid get in cars with strangers, which is like the preferred method of transportation for young teens, you know, rather than driving themselves. So yeah, like, Uber could have flopped, you know, like, if the world was a little bit different, people could have said, the market could have been like, fuck that, like, no, like, I'm not getting into a car with a fucking stranger. Like, so yeah, I mean, they tried it and it worked, and that's all that matters. Like, so I think that's all you can really do is, like, give it your best shot, and if it doesn't, then, like, what even happens? I think about that all the time. Like, I'm still young, even if I fuck up 5 years from now, I'm still young.
I like when people are like, I've been thinking about doing this. It's like, well, just do it. You can think about it, like, it's good having a game plan, but don't be scared to act on it. Like, there's never gonna be a perfect time. Like, you're never gonna be like, you know what, man, in like a week when I'm more chilling, because something in a week's gonna fucking happen. You don't have the money anymore. Or
tomorrow.
Yeah, literally, just do it now. Like, I want to do this, but I'm gonna wait because I don't think I'm there yet. It's, dude, just what you have, make it work. That's how we started this shit.
Yeah,
like, some got that really whatever interface and made it work, and here we are. So,
yeah, that's what sucks is, like, a lot of times a lot of these things just kind of seem like words, and, like, I get in those funks sometimes. Like, yesterday I looked at, like, a Nike ad came up and it said yesterday you said tomorrow, and then it had like the just do it thing, and it was like, yeah, fuck you, you know, I don't feel like doing anything today. So it's like, I get it, you know, like, fuck, like, everybody gets that way. But I think that's what's so good about, also, like, I'm grateful to have somebody like you as a partner in something like this, a sexual life partner. No, but I think that comes into play, is having like a good support behind you, to be like, somebody can pick up the slack for you, or not just pick up the slack, but be like, hey, like, I'm gonna bring forth this idea. And then we can. I mean, that's how this fucking live stream came about. I just hit you up and I was like, yo, like, we haven't done a podcast in a week. Let's do a live stream tonight. Like, fuck it. So that's just like, I don't know. I think that's like something. That's one of the most important points I think I want to drive home with like everybody that wants to do something is like find a good group of people or just one person. Like, find somebody that has a similar goal to you and go for it.
Yeah, even if it's
use them as a support.
Even if it's like, it could be your mom, you know, it could be like anyone. It's just as long as like you can talk about your ideas and like. See, I do that with you all the time. I get fucking stressed out. I'm like, who's freaking out?
Yeah.
Like, am I fucking doing this right? Am I not doing this right? Yeah,
Right.
you gotta have at least some sort of backbone. Even if you don't have someone that invests with you, it's good to have an outsider you can at least like converse with if you have like any issues. That keeps me going.
Right.
Like a
Yeah,
weird lag.
it's hard to like just rely on your, because like you'll eat yourself alive just thinking like, fuck, my shit's not good enough, or like, why am I even doing this? Like, I should just fucking kick back and fuck it, you know? But it's like you need that support group of people that are like, there's something bigger than both of us that we can do, or all of us, you know, like, and someone to like kind of bring you back to ground and be like, fuck yeah, like we can actually build something better than ourselves. So that's important. I'm gonna grab another beer though. On that note,
My brewski brethren.
man, yeah, I wish I could see who was live in here, but fuck me, right? Facebook.
I think I might. I don't know. Don't matter enough to me. We're your motivational bros for the hour. Just talking about doing things. What's my favorite though? Everyone being like scared to take that move because it's a big jump from just doing like average shit. You might as well risk it for the biscuit though.
Yeah.
You get to see a lot of scared people. Oh shit, is that me? Is that you?
I think that was my laptop. Welcome to the Motivational Bros podcast.
The motivational bro. Once
where
we
motivate the bros.
I'd be down.
Yeah, no, I'm not real though. Like, I hate motivational shit sometimes. Like, that shit fucking makes me mad. Like,
Yeah, same.
if I don't want to do shit, like, I'm like, fuck off, dude. Like, I don't know. So I get it. Like that, I can't stress enough like how important it is to have people behind you that are like having that same drive. Because otherwise, I feel like a lot of times I would fall into like a uncreative hole a lot and kind of stay there for longer than I need to be.
Yeah, it's hard to get in that mindset and stay in that mindset sometimes. It's definitely like, if you have a shit day, it's hard to come home and be like, you know what, man, I'm going to kick today's ass. But when you do it, it's way fucking better. Because you actually feel like you did something, you know, like productive towards your goals, not someone else's. What kind of brew you drinking, Playboy?
Oh shit, I thought I lost you for a second.
Oh, shit.
I have a good old one of these guys, aka the best choice 7-Eleven has to offer.
You know I'm a Coors Light guy.
It's okay. I drank a 24 PBR earlier, so about the same. Feeling about the same.
Keeping it classic. Yeah, I'm like back on my bullshit. I got like my little Taylor was just here leaving things behind.
Oh shit! I got whiskey too. Actually, if I should have made one of the fucking, I don't even know what they're called, whiskey gingers, I guess.
Yeah, that's
dope.
Dude, have you ever actually had a hot toddy?
No, but I need to.
Dude, I had like this throat thing going on last night, and so basically a hot toddy is lemon, fresh lemon. You squeeze it, honey, bourbon, and like boiling water. Like, so it's like a tea. It's hot, and it made my throat feel amazing. I had 2 of those. It like, so you get like that nice little like warm buzz from the bourbon, but also like it's like you're drinking a hot tea with the honey and lemon. So it's like it's an excellent remedy for like kind of like head sicknesses. Like that shit cured me in like a day. I drank like 2 of those, and I had a bunch of tea throughout the day. and I felt excellent. And I love that it's called a hot toddy because it's my favorite.
I love it. That's the only reason I would drink it.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. Like I've been on a tea kick lately, like, which has been super nice. Mostly like non-caffeine ones, but I should start drinking them in the morning as like my replacement for like coffee or energy drinks.
Yeah, I need to start switching back over to like dude, I'm just at a year's kid. That shit was tight.
That shit's good. Yeah, I feel a little cleaner when I'm having that. Like my hype level is like not as cloudy. I feel like for some, like, I don't know if that makes sense. I'm sure people that drink energy drinks know what I'm saying, but
yeah, it gets you all amped up and then you crash pretty hard, and that's always the issue. Oh, Tony's here.
Tony, I got you on a long sleeve, my man. First in fucking line. Commented first.
Yeah, he's in there.
You're in that shit, son.
Some hot toddies. Yeah, I need to get back on like just yerbing out, doing a little bit of coffee. You know, I've been slamming energy drinks on the rigs. I had like fucking two. I think like a day ago. Like slammed down two. Still went to sleep. I don't know what's going on, dude.
You got echo AF. I don't know. I hear it on your end, but I don't have sound coming through anything on mine,
really?
So it can't be from me.
It might be from me. It might be like too close. I wonder. Yeah, it doesn't let you mute when you're going live. It's weird. It just like does not let you. It has like one little bar.
Huh? Yeah, mine only goes down to one bar too, so I don't know if. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
I want to make sure that they can hear me on the live, so I'm not sure. Weird.
I have too much hair again. Once more.
Go to fucking Gary.
Yeah.
That dude had me cracking up in the fucking barber seat, dude. You can't be making me laugh my ass off when you're like cutting my hair. Like that's like two bad things. Like I was like cracking up and he was still cutting my hair. I was like, dude, you can't be doing this. Like he was just talking shit, and I was like, oh my god, like this is not the time to be laughing while you're getting hair.
You just laugh a little too hard and get some nicks in the back.
Dude, I thought he's got a cool little shop down there. They got like mini fridge and fucking bunch of Coca-Colas, like the actual like dope ones with the sugar in it and stuff.
That's tight. From like Mexico.
That was sick. So yeah, it's a cool spot. And yeah, it's kind of nice. I haven't obviously I just cut my hair, so that was like my first go get a haircut experience. It was kind of nice. You just kind of cruise in, fucking go get some lunch afterwards. It's kind of a nice experience.
Yeah, I haven't gone anywhere to get my hair cut in, I don't know, like 10 years.
Right? I know, dude. Yeah, I've never been doing that shit.
Yeah, I just never down to go do that. My roommate cuts hair, so she just does it.
Yeah, I mean that's a better alternative, but also you gotta rely on like, hey, can we do that today? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like, hey, let me get one of those, and then you gotta wait. It's all good though. What have y'all been up to? I took like this month off for me, which was fucking nice. I needed that, dude. I'm all like recharged again. I think today's my first day back, like, mentally. Like the birthday shit, and then just doing my own thing. So
yeah,
back to the grind.
Yeah, I've stayed pretty busy. A lot of editing stuff, a lot of editing just things in the background that were kind of like things that I couldn't really share through Black8. So a lot of editing on that end, and then gearing up to do a music video, which will be really cool. I'm going to be filming a music video for a band that actually everyone's familiar with, which will be cool, which is related to Black8. And then, yeah, just kind of staying on that. I'm still, other than that, whatever, that's probably like in the near future what I'm most excited about. And then, let's see, what else? We got merch coming soon. And then, what about you, Tony? You got music on the horizon or what?
He best be.
We hope so.
Yeah, we're waiting on that. I think we should have a single coming out soon. I think another one.
No Twitter. No Twitter at the moment.
Oh, for us? Yeah, we don't have one. Should we even make one? I feel like you just follow us.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of like hold off on it right now. I think I like Twitter, but I don't care too much for their like. I think you have to approach Twitter now with like a different like mindset instead of like the other ones that are more effective anyway. Because like Twitter's ad shit doesn't work, like it really doesn't.
No way.
Which sucks. Like
I like that more though because then it's like the incentive to do ads on Twitter is pretty low. You know, like you only see like a little bit. It's actually what you want to see, and that's why I like it. They did fuck it up though. They put certain tweets ahead of other ones now. I don't really like that.
Mm-hmm. That's cool, Tony. Yeah, that's sick, man. Doing vocal lessons is always like a solid fucking. You always get like just to have a different angle from somebody else, especially somebody that does it like religiously and every day is like probably some good insight. But I saw I saw that you've been streaming, which is really cool. Like tell us. I wish you could be on the video too. That'd be nice. But streaming because I'm super interested in the Twitch community and like what people do when they're on there and like how does it work with donations and things like that. Do you know anything about that, Tyler?
In the donation way?
Well, just in general, like I love video games, obviously. I mean, we all do, but I'm curious to know just like how it works. Like essentially, you're just streaming, and people, if they dig what you're doing, they'll just like donate to you.
Yeah, I think that's all. Let's see. I'm gonna turn my shit. If I have an echo, do I still have an echo? Let's see.
It's hard for me to tell.
Yeah, I can't even tell. I'm assuming this is how I fix it. Maybe not. Let's try this. I'll like finish everything. Can you hear me or no?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, word. That should be better. Let's see. Just checking. I don't know why I always get echo for some reason. I don't even know why. Yeah, see, that's dope. He's an affiliate with Twitch, so he gets paid monthly, which is tight.
That's really cool. Yeah, man. That's so crazy to me, man. Like, if you think about everybody that was like really good at video games, like I don't know, even like 20 years ago, but like they were all convinced like, oh no, you gotta go get a job and go to college. Like, imagine if you would have just stuck with video games and been like, fuck you, I'm not going to college. I don't want to do that. I want to play video games. You know, like just doing your thing. I've always people. I think a lot of people hate on that PewDiePie guy, but fuck, dude, that guy's been at it for a long time.
Yeah, I don't think that dude cares that he's balling out.
Yeah, fuck
It's
it.
like he's probably not that bad. See, when I pick it up, we're good. Put it down. Like that. I don't want to hold it the whole night, though. I don't think that's gonna work. Boop. Nope. Maybe. That should be better. Let's hope.
Yeah. I don't know if the echo's better, but the angle is.
Ooh, it'll come back. Just give it a second. My thing's all finicky. Got the weird signal in here sometimes.
It's the Fickleton.
Todd Fickleton. Oh, people are back. I wonder if it dropped for a second. Probably did.
Randizzle for Shizzle's back.
Yeah, she's been in here the whole time.
Yeah, that'd be cool. it'd be cool to be able to get more voices in. I mean, we have like that little lag, so it's like a little different from us talking, and so it's like, I mean, obviously we're still live, but
Yeah, it takes
What
like
is
10
Rand-
seconds to transfer over.
what has Rand Dizzle been up to? What's going on in your world?
Yeah, what's Randall McDaniel doing?
What can we help you with?
Like we're the gurus. We're like, yeah, we're like your online therapists. What do you guys need? What do you guys want? We got you. It's like move. It's like now my phone's in the way of things. So yeah, I wish there was kind of like a better platform for like live streaming. I guess there is. I bet there is. There's no way this is the only option.
Yeah.
It just seems like it's every time I like live stream, it's kind of finicky. Label life.
Label life.
Walk us through a day in the shoes of Randall McDaniel.
That would actually be some cool shit. I know that like me always like growing up and wanting to obviously like be in a band that's on a label. Like I always thought, I guess my mind kind of just goes to this place a lot of what people do behind the scenes. Like I always kind of wanted to know the ins and outs of people. Like what is everybody's role at a record label? Like I obviously know like the actual titles of like what people do, but
How many steps there are to people?
no, I mean I guess more so just like people's day to day, you know, like that's something that's always intrigued me about really like anything. Like I think that's what's cool about now more than ever is we're like in a time where you can like see behind the scenes things and people can share like everything that they really do go through, like whether it be like through their job or through their creative process and stuff like that. So I've always thought about like just because like labels interest me, I always like wondered like what it was like to like actually walk in to your job each day and like and sit down and be like, okay, so this is what I'm doing today. That would actually be cool to have Randy on like a day in the life type of thing like that.
So walking through. It'd be cool. She wants a lab.
That I've had this idea floating, which would be something like kind of like how Daniel was featured on our page, to do like an artist like profile type of thing like that, where it's like just like a short clip of just kind of like going through and doing like showing like almost like a day in the life type of thing of like what they do. Like I talked to my buddy Jeff who tattoos. I think that would be like kind of a cool art form to explore that like just to kind of show like his process and stuff like that. Like I think that's like something I'm always really interested in when I'm myself like going out to look at videos that are posted like of different people. That's why I always like Vice a lot, the YouTube channel. Like they kind of take you like behind the scene and they go deep as fuck, you know.
I like that. Yeah, it's like you get to learn about the crap that you're kind of getting involved with. What's going on?
Yeah.
Randall is the mom.
A lot of social media.
It's weird because it's like not updating on my phone, but I can see it here on Facebook on computer.
It's not on your phone?
Yeah, like I don't see questions. I have to like go on the actual Facebook. It's kind of weird.
So Randy, do you actually go into the office every day, or do you have like set hours that you have to be there when, or is it kind of more free flow where you can do these things from home and you're able to like get your work done at home, or is it like a come and go as you need to type situation? Dude, I've been watching so many fucking Disney movies. I get their songs stuck in my head because they're so catchy. I don't know which motherfuckers are writing that.
You're just a Disney bro now?
Yeah, man, they got catchy ass songs, dude. Like, whoever's writing these fucking bangers are just like killing the game.
I think I think it actually is a lot of people that are involved in like one song to make sure
Yeah.
they're bangers.
A lot of like for Disney movies, I know they've probably always done this, but like they have a lot of modern pop artists like do the actual like soundtracks and stuff like that. Like I think this fucking movie that Adeline's obsessed with right now has like Tovlo and shit like that. Moana. That's it. I'm sure you've never fucking seen a kids Disney movie in a while, but I've seen that one like 25 fucking times, so I know all those songs pretty well.
That's funny. Yeah, I haven't really seen any of that shit.
They got bangers, man. Like I know, like I never watched Frozen, but like that song, obviously I know the song just because so many people have like posted the Let It Go one. Yeah, like fuck, there was like covers on covers of that song, and like yeah, like Disney writers, like I mean obviously they have the best resources in the world, but they're writing some epic ass shit.
Phil Collins did it to us with Tarzan for sure.
Oh, dude. He
Like,
had to
Mike
do it
said
to
that
us.
shit, so.
Yeah, I know. He had to do it to us. I love Mike. I was supposed to send him some content tonight that I never got around to, but I will send that to you tonight, my man. I appreciate your help. It's Monday through Friday, 9 to 5.
He knew he had to give it to him. That is like my favorite shit now.
Dude, hell yeah. I'm glad that like majority of people know what that. Yeah, I fucking love that. That movie's actually really good. Like I feel like the soundtrack could have been a little bit more on point. Like they've got this part where the crab is like singing about his shiny shell and shit, and that song is like super just like no flow to it, and he starts like talking and like it's almost like it was like a spoken word part, but it's just horrible. Other than that, the movie's flawless. But
You
there's
hated
like
it. That's where you drew the line.
that song was not good.
I do not like movies with singing. I can't do like musicals. Fucking not my thing. Like I can't do musicals.
But dude, every Disney movie has like that. It's not like the whole movie is singing, but it just has like those parts that like. So Moana's probably like there's probably like 20 minutes of singing, maybe tops 15, and the rest of like the 2-hour movie is like it's just movie. It just has like little transitions of singing. That's kind of sick. Have you ever given any thought process to like? I think you kind of did a little bit of this in the past. Like, weren't you talking about writing a soundtrack for a video game?
Oh yeah, that was like a weird thing. But I ended up doing. I did a couple songs. It was so writing for like soundtracks is fucking weird because they just give you an idea. They just tell you like descriptive words of we need it dark, ambient, and like they're gonna be in a forest. So you just have to use your best judgment. You're like, oh fuck.
That kind of makes you think though. I like that. I kind of think that kind of like pushes the envelope a little bit, and you're like, well, I gotta kind of use my brain.
And then you have to write it out in a certain way to where it's like 35 seconds so it can loop, like without it being weird. So you have to write at least something like 35 to a minute to make sure it loops, and it's really like you have to find the right tempo, and then find like the right notes to go with it, and then it'll give you like revisions. It was cool. The only thing though, it was like pro bono, so you do it, and then if they get paid, you get paid. And I was like, I'm not fucking write 30 of these for
Just curious, Douglas, if you're still am I lagging? Kind of hear Tyler going back and forth. I feel like that maybe is just a Facebook thing, but I'm curious to know if I'm echoing. Am I echoing on your end, Tyler?
No, it has to be me. I think what it is though, it's because like it's picking up that in this, so it has to be like.
I don't have any sound coming through mine though.
It's only coming. It's coming through my phone because I can't mute my live stream.
Oh, hold up. Okay, I think I know what it is then.
Because I have echo cancellation on, which is like goofy as fuck, but it does have that as an option.
Yeah, it must be okay. I'm retarded. It's because it's coming through my external mic.
Oh.
I mean. Let me see. I think I can still use. let's see if I still have my voice going through if I just connect the headphone jack.
I think they said it's better. Is it better now that I'm still echoing though? Let's see. Let's see if it works.
Can you hear me, Tyler?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just an echo boy. That's a plug-in, by the way. No one else is gonna get that.
Are we still? Oh, okay, there we go. All right, so we're on Discord. All good.
Yeah. So let's see. So much better. All right. So
Damn. Okay. Yeah, I mine wasn't working.
Was on Connor's end. So
Yeah, I
fuck
was
y'all.
the fucker.
So
I was
fuck
the fucker
y'all.
the whole time.
Guys are bumming me out thinking it's all me, dude. I got bullied over here.
Yeah. Fix your shit. Dude, I just found out, like, why the fuck doesn't my Mac have an audio input? Like, what is it? What the fuck kind of machine did I buy here? I just switched over from Mac. Been using PC my whole life for 10 years. And there's no audio input for a mic. That makes no fucking sense. I'm taking it back.
Whoa, dude. Well, it's gotta be me, dude.
Alright, that's good. That's fixed.
Nice and fixed.
Now I know.
Alright. Miss you already, Thugless. Everyone call him Thugless. That's like a way cooler name. Doug the Thug.
Come on, Mr. Thugless.
He's gotta go save a love.
Is that Doug from Canada?
Yeah, Big Dick Doug.
He's dig dugging.
I hope he heard everything. I hope he didn't just like click by the second he said that. I hope he got to hear it all.
I can't believe the audio dude couldn't fix his own audio. It's crazy.
I'm a piece of shit.
You should just quit. It actually sounds great through my headphones. It sounds like it's a... Yeah, it sounds like I'm on the Joe Rogan podcast. Yeah. Yeah, no big deal. Someone get him in here. Take some notes. Hey, Joe Ro, you got any you want us to give you some tips on how to do a podcast? Guess we could squeeze Joe. Shit, so yeah, we're on of the Black Gate. We've I don't know. I mean, obviously, I think I'm doing things like this, which is really cool. It's been like a cool outlet for us, not only just to talk, but to like connect with other people and have people relate to some of the things that we say. And no, that was it.
Being proud of us.
You cut out like halfway through, so I didn't know what you said.
Nothing at all.
Nothing, dude. I just shed one single tear.
Yeah. Oops.
No, I didn't say anything, dude.
I was just kidding the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Here's the fucking... Okay, I was looking for the, let's see. See if we have any more questions in here. Oh, Douglas definitely heard that. That's good.
So Randall is a Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. It could be there 9 to 4 some days and 7 to 7 other days.
Dude, just to touch on that, that's one of the most stressful fucking ways to live your life ever. Like, just speaking, no matter what job you're working, whatever career choice that you have, or if you don't have set hours or you don't go into it with a mindset like, oh, I'm gonna work 12 hours today, because like at least if you can go into it and be like, yeah, I know what I gotta do today. I'm gonna put in the 12 hours that I need to do to get it done, or fuck. I mean, if it was something that you really like doing, like 16, fuck it, you know. But something that's like really gotten to me on my previous job that I realized was like a really stressful way to live your life, and I'm sure a lot of people deal with this, is like you get to work, and a lot of places work that way, like how Randy was saying, is like you don't know when you're going to be off. And that's like, you can't make plans afterwards. You just be like, well, I just got to take it by ear. And like, and every day that you say that, I feel like that's so stressful, where you're just like, yeah, man, I don't know if I can do that, or I don't know if I can make this appointment because I don't know when I'm going to be off today. Like, yeah, I started at 7. Technically, I should be off at, what is that? 3:30, but like that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to be off. Part of the game on different kind of job or careers like that, which I guess like it wouldn't really matter if you were living life on your own terms. It would just be like, yeah, I'm working, but it's also like it's my job and I'm working for myself. Um, so just for example, if we were doing Black 8 full time, like I could go like run some errands if I needed to, or go to a dentist appointment, and then like I could bounce from the dentist appointment and continue working. Um, but that changes for sure when you're working for someone else, because there's all kinds of different dynamics. So I just wanted to chime that in because, one, I feel for you, Randizzle. That sucks, and two, I think that's kind of my biggest motivator in life, is just to kind of be able to live life on my own terms like that, which everybody wants, obviously, but it doesn't come easy. Like, if you want that fucking life, then there's no other way to get that than working hard for yourself.
Yeah, it sucks some D for a little bit.
For sure. Yeah, maybe along a bit, you know, but it's worth it. Like, the end of it is worth it.
It's what you put into it, for sure.
Yeah. I'm happy to say that right now, like, I mean, I'm only working my normal job where I work for somebody else on the weekends. Like, I literally work Friday night, 6 p.m. to 3 in the morning, and then I go home, I go to sleep. I work on my shit Saturday, like, while I'm awake. I work on Black 8 stuff where I'm editing or something of that nature. And then I go back to work Saturday night, 6 p.m. to 3 a.m. And then I wake up in the morning and I do like a brunch shift at the bar, like 11 a.m. or something like that. And that's it. And then at least that's how it worked this week, and how it's been working for most of these weeks is like I work on the weekends and I have the whole fucking week to do like my main thing, or what I want to make my main thing. So that's been a blessing for sure, because I'm used to having the opposite. So I kind of just hustle my ass off on the weekends to make the dollars, and then I kind of just make my other money which is really cool.
Yeah, I think one of the best things I've learned is that even with making money on this, it's where now I can hear myself echo.
Yeah, that's weird. It's not through mine.
Anyway, so one of the best things I learned or heard was even if you have a day job, don't quit that, because your side hustle might not always pull through. You should have like at least something in the background making you some consistent money. So like I won't quit my job, one, because I like it, and then two, if I don't get booked anything for a month, I'm still chill with living.
Right. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm running into that same issue where it actually is like that one sound bar is still coming through my phone, but whatever. I just moved further away.
Weird. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if it's like on my end maybe, because I can hear myself.
Yeah, just to touch on the last thing, you have to make the money to have the cash flow coming in from what it is you want to do. You can't necessarily just like kind of drop everything. Like you can't just be like, well, fuck all of my jobs that make me. I think that can be a route that you can take. Like you quit everything, drop everything, and just really go all in. I think that can work for some people, but I also think that that's like kind of a scary route. I think that the best route to do is kind of work that side gig and like slowly but surely kind of like wean yourself down and be like, that's like my biggest motivator is like, fuck, dude, the quicker that I get this shit going, like next year, the year after that, maybe I don't have to fucking work for someone anymore. That's huge for me. Like I go to work every time that I go to work, I'm like, fuck, I'm here at work right now, but I know what I'm doing when I'm not here is what's trying to get me out of here. So that's like that's what keeps me going. Because I don't want to fucking walk in and I don't want to clock in. That's the term. I don't want to clock in.
I think what happens is a lot of people go to work and they do their hustle and they like get off work and they come home and they just want to play video games or just relax, kick back.
Decompress.
Got the momentum of like, okay, I'm still in work mode. You know, it's like take a lunch break when you get home or like dinner, but then start on your shit and then like watch something to chill out and go to bed.
Yeah, and like I get that. Like I get the decompressing thing, and you have to like relax from your day, and relax from the stresses of the everyday, and like everybody needs that. And yeah, everybody needs that. It's about like doing it, and then but not letting that side control it to where like you're not gonna. I'm getting fucking blown. Yeah. Man. Do you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, cool.
This is a good one. Actually, Randy just threw in a good point with it too. So Mike asks, what's your stance on rebranding a solid audience to show? And then Randy replies, if you have the time and passion, rebranding can definitely be worth it. Most bands don't start with a big audience to show, but building a hometown base and go from there. So and you're I don't know if you guys want to. I don't know if Randy could even expand on that too.
Yeah, let me go back and read the question.
I hope that answers it a little bit further.
I think that it's always worth it to, dude. I try to think about like companies that have done this. Companies have done this for years. Like, JanSport backpacks. Like, they were big a long time ago. Like, and but they lost like a lot of flair. I mean, obviously this is on a bigger scale, but like everybody wore a JanSport backpack when me and Tyler were in middle school and high school. Like you were lame if you didn't wear one. So I think it's always worth it to like kind of keep the name that you did already build and try to build back upon it. I think it can't ever. I think it's kind of situation scrap it. And, direction. So, but I think a lot of times, um,
I think that's a good point. Yeah, even if you think about even like McDonald's, that's a shit almost monthly. They're trying to figure out new ways to get people in all the time. They're like,
everybody's constantly rebranding themselves.
Yeah.
And you have to stay alive. So I think that's why it doesn't really matter. Like, if Blackgate Co. was to take a fucking 6-month hiatus right now, we didn't say a word, but we came back like heavy as fuck in 6 months with like everything that we were going to do, people weren't going to be like, oh, fuck you guys, you took 6 months off, we don't care anymore. They would judge you off of your latest at bat. You know, they would like, to give us as an example, if we took off 6 months, didn't do shit, didn't say a word, didn't post a piece of content, then in 6 months we came out with a merch line, we came out with like podcasts with like big names and just everything that you can think of. I think that people would latch onto that because at the end of the day, it's the Blackgate name would just, they wouldn't hold it to like, oh, you guys have been dead for so long, like, fuck you guys. So I think that's a good way to look at it too.
But internet's getting like raged on. One sec.
Let's see.
I'm looking to start fresh. You might as well read it. I think my shit's lagging out.
Sure. So Mike says, I'm looking to start fresh. It's tough when I'm the only one who wants to push material that's been collecting dust for the past several months. And by the time we release it, it's only the matter of time to see if it catches on. So yeah, I think that's definitely, that's hard when you don't have people that are on the same page. That's something that I've always kind of had difficulties with when being in bands with people, that like when everyone didn't see eye to eye. Luckily, me and Tyler have like very similar end goals. We have kind of different day-to-day like micro ideas of things, but those things kind of like cancel each other out because we want to get to the same point. So I think that comes down to like maybe being straight up and like honest with the other people that are involved in it. Because I think these days there's no reason to sit on material. Like, just put it out, you know? Like, yeah, I think the best way that a band could even do it these days is, like, fuck, if you could put out, like, a song a week would be... I think that there's so much being put out these days that if you have, like, the audacity and the talent to be able to put out, like, songs every week or every 2 weeks or whatever that might be, like... I think that there's just so much being put out right now that that's your best bet to be able to make something. So that just to answer that question, I don't think that there's any reason to sit on things. Yeah, Randy, I think if you read the comments from Mike, he's kind of just kind of at a standstill with, I think, the band that he's with, and what I kind of touched on was I don't think it's ever worth it to sit on things these days, because there's somebody else out there that's putting out things every other day while you're just sitting on material, when potentially one of those songs could be the song that puts you on somewhere. So that's how I see it. I think that's the method to do it in the 2017 world. So from an unsigned standpoint, at least, independent.
Yeah, I think content's key for sure. Just making sure that you're putting out stuff that's quality, especially if you're like just trying to get that momentum. Even though you kind of did spend a pretty big budget on your EP, you could do content in between releasing songs with that as well, or do like maybe 2 singles off it, put it out, and then try to do a single in 6 months. just staying relevant, because like people burn out on shit so quick. If you're not putting out stuff like every 6 months or a year, like you kind of fall behind with how much content other bands are putting out.
Dude, yeah, that's something that I was like just driving home when you walked away was, I think it's like, I think a lot of people don't want to do this because they think it has the opposite effect. But I'm like a firm believer in like quantity as well as quality. Like I think if you could put out a song once a month, you could do that, like, and get somewhere with it. Because if the songs are good, like who's to say like your next month's song could be the song that won, you know? Like, and that just gives you that many more at bats. Like you get 12 at bats a year if you put out, like, so say you put out 12 singles in a year or something of that nature, and then like also released an album or something like that. I think that just gave you that many more chances to be heard by that certain someone that's going to get you to the certain next spot. So I think that's people on SoundCloud do really well, like rappers and things like that. Like they're just they're pumping shit out, and like a lot of them get picked up because of it. Like Future dropped like 3 albums, you know, in a row. Dude dropped 3 fucking albums like within a month, and I think that like rebuilt that dude's name from I mean, obviously he's already a big star, but you can always get bigger. So I think quality and quantity is the game, in my opinion, now, music-wise.
Yeah, I think my shit's just lagging now.
Hopefully, I don't know if they can hear me.
I could hear you. I think that works. And then Randy pretty much helped with that too. Yeah, I like Randy's standpoint. That's really like, I think like obviously labels have agenda because they want to get the timing right, and they want to get, and you're already kind of set up. Like, not to say that you've made it and you're done and you can give up, but you have you've got like your shit lined up. Like, so you've got your release, and then you've got the tour to back up the release, and then you've got the this, that, and this to like, you know, kind of like keep the flow going. But I think when you're starting out and you might not have the funds to do something like go on tours or things like that, although like I think every band could tour potentially at this point, yeah,
and they should, yeah. But I think in the beginning, when you don't have those kind of resources, I think that your best friend is something more along the lines of using the internet as your key attacking point to get to your audiences. So that whether that be in terms of posting a song a month and doing a bunch of content around it, or posting an EP every 6 months, and just like in between that doing a lot of things like, fuck dude, I think bands could be podcasts. Like why can't a band start a podcast? You know, like just like anything to keep you guys relevant. Like, because a lot of times not necessarily like are people in love with the music, or they're in love with the personality, you know, or they're in love with a person in the band. Like I fucking hate the music of someone, but I think like
the dude's
a good guy.
Yeah.
So just all kind of things I consider these days, which is I think the world's changing a bit.
Yeah, it's definitely what I think you're going to see, that big turning point within the next couple of years for sure. Just my guess. Because no one wants to wait around for shit anymore. Like, everyone's overwaiting. Yeah. Like, bands used to be able to take, like, years to record and, like, get an album out. Now it's, like, every year. It's like, all right, time to put something out. Unless I guess you're, you know, pretty big. Like, bring the rest of that.
Before we announce the Gospel Youth. Yeah, so that's so just to elaborate on that, Randy, were they already talking with you guys, or was that on their own accord? Like, were you guys already under wraps with them? Like, did you have something already set up with the Gospel Youth? Like, or was that something that they had in mind for themselves that kept themselves relevant? That's something that I think is kind of interesting, because that's exactly kind of like the way I think about things right now, is like push things out as much as you can. If you have 12 songs, put them out every 2 weeks. Like that first song, like people are like, oh, this is dope, I'm jamming it. Oh shit, they're coming out with a song, like I'm still jamming the first one. Like let's jam this one too. Like, yeah, so I like that. I think that's cool. I think that's a good strategy. I think it's different. I think that like that can really work for people.
It super keeps you relevant. It makes sure people are seeing you, and it's something new every time. So it's not just like a music video for 2 months. You're pushing that. I definitely think that's more important. Just having like here's something, even if it's like video content or like maybe a background of what the song is about. I've seen some bands do that. I think that's cool.
Yeah, or shit, man. I mean, these are just like, these ideas are all kind of arbitrary and like we're just spitballing, but like you could do literally just, iPhone cameras are so good these days, like especially with a band like what you're doing, Mike, is like more pop punkish. Like it's not hard to get a decent lamp set up in a room and an acoustic guitar and sing one of the songs directly to YouTube that you already have out. Like I think that's like another way to do something for, like if you had nothing, if you didn't have a song, something like that can be major. Like I know a lot of bands like that got big off of their acoustic medleys, like I've seen bands that just like they had solid music, but like what really made them pop was like they put out a good acoustic version of that. And I think things like that can really work too. I mean, these are all just like different strategies, but
no, I super agree with that. Like, you can see videos with a couple million views on Facebook, and they were filmed with an iPhone. It doesn't really matter with that production anymore. I mean, to an extent, that's really loose. Because you could have like, God, it was a video I just watched. It was filmed on a fucking iPhone. It was a music video, and it's like they're dressed up as the Halloween chicks from like Halloween, or it's that Tim Burton movie or whatever. Anyway, and they're singing a song just literally like some dude's iPhone's filming it. It's got 26 million views.
Damn.
Yeah, so like you can just, if it's good shit, people are gonna like watch it.
I need to read this. Yeah, so that's what's rough, man. Like I spoke on earlier, was like me and Tyler were in a band previously, and we had like a lot of butting heads with the people that we were involved with. Like, granted, we all are all really good friends, but it's like people just have different visions, Like people have different like visions for the way things need to go, and I think ultimately that's why me and Tyler ended up doing something like this together, is because we generally agree on a lot of the ideas. You don't have to agree on everything, but I like what you're doing with your solo thing, which was really good. And I think that like you can push that in any direction that you want to do it. Which ultimate freedom is like the best thing. Like, like no one's telling me and Tyler what to do. We don't have somebody else like, nah, man, you guys can't be fucking live streaming tonight. We're just like, we want to live stream tonight. Let's do it. Like, so that's cool.
Yeah, going back to like the Michael doing his own thing, I praise that as fuck. Like, you literally you don't even need a band to have a whole. Oh, Andrew Thirsty's here. I love him. You can have a band by yourself, and you can make your own choices, which is badass. And I think what you're doing, like I was helping you a bit with that, and it's like, yeah, dude, that's the way you can just do things now. You don't have to have everyone agree, because if you're by yourself, you're like, okay, I'm doing this, and you got pretty good feedback, so.
Yeah, the music's good. I love that, man. That's so cool and that's something that me and Tyler like have been keeping in mind. Like I was talking about earlier on the podcast or on this little live stream was we wrote a song and we were like, shit, dude, we can do all of this ourselves. Like we wrote the guitars in one night. I can go back and lay vocals, and we can literally release it as a Blackgate band if we want, Like there's no rules to shit. Like, and that's the beauty of not only doing things on your own, but just like, but working with somebody that has that same mindset as you. So I think as far as like you working with that other band that disagrees with you on things, I think that you kind of have to lay down like your honest opinion about things. Be like, yo, look, like this is the way I think we should do it. If you guys don't, then I don't really know what else we can do.
Yeah, like, why am I here? If my opinion doesn't. Just to touch on that topic, just real quick. It didn't. Just to touch on it for a second. They're doing the same shit to me, though, or I've given advice 2 or 3 times and they totally disregard it. So, for whatever reason, they're more right than you or I don't understand. But they want help, it doesn't make any sense. But if you, just reading your comment now, I don't want to burn any bridges. You're not. You're standing up for yourself. Like, it's like we did the same thing when we had our guitarists and we'd butt heads. We would have to find a way to resolve it, or we would just kind of stop talking to them. And that's, you don't want to do either one of those, you know? I mean, you want to at least resolve it, but you don't want to, like, stop talking to them. You're important, especially if you're part of the band. If you're contributing, like, it's good, but it's not so good that you should fucking drive yourself crazy over it.
I mean, all right, this is what I would say, like, especially since I'm such a big fan of what you just put out, like, and the fact that you just having, like, the audacity to do that on your own was really cool. A lot of people aren't doing that, so I love that. That's really cool. I think to kind of, like, put things in more of, like, a macro, like, sum everything up type of thing would be kind of just focus on your own shit, man. Like, if you can focus on your solo shit where you have, like, full direct control, that's, like, the best feeling. I think that's, like, why me and Tyler are so drawn to doing Blackgate. Like, we've always been, like, such in a tied down situation with being in bands. We've always been in bands where there's 4 other people that you gotta, like, hey, man, can we do this? Like, is that cool? And it's just, like, fuck, or like, trying to coordinate things. So I think if you can focus on your own shit that you're trying to do, which is good, and really push things that you're doing with that, and kind of leave, like, your opinions on the table with your other band, I think that's kind of the best way to go about it. So that way, like you said, you're not burning any bridges, but you're leaving it on the table how you feel things should be, and at the same time, you're still doing you. So I think that would be best case scenario, and it's liberating to be able to do your own shit, you know?
Yeah, I definitely I don't like having to ask people permission for things I want to do. It doesn't make sense to me. If I want to do it, I'm going to go do it.
Not even with my band, it's more like the people we come across.
Well, if you're having issues with, like, do you mean in the sense, like, if you're in the band and then people in other bands see your band, they don't like you because of it? If you could elaborate on that real quick. My shit's all weird. Sometimes I see it, sometimes it don't pop up.
What on the? I mean, it's looking as clear as it has tonight. I don't know what you did if you went when you left, if you did anything, but it's, like, not laggy. Yeah, props to you, Tony. Like, that's what's so sick about streaming. If I ever get back into the point where I can get my gaming set up again, like, I'm gonna Twitch the fuck out of it, because, like, what do I have to lose? I'm already playing video games. I'm already talking shit when I'm playing games. Like, I'm already fucking talking shit on bosses that are eating my ass. I would love, dude, if I live streamed me playing, like, fucking, what's that game again? That hard fucking game that, like, everybody plays, like, it's insanely hard.
PUBG?
No, not PUBG. It's a PS4 game and Xbox, I think, too, but it's, like, really dark and gothic.
I have no idea.
Kyle St. James plays it a lot.
Oh, Dark Souls?
Dark Souls, yeah. Like, dude, if I fucking, like, live stream me playing that, like, I'm already talking a lot of shit. I might as well, like, be on Twitch or something and, like, I don't know. I think that's cool. I think Twitch is a great platform for people to, like, do their own thing. You're on it right now, Andrew. Let's talk, brother.
Yeah, come on, Andrew Thirsty. Mike did say something pretty nice. I want to like elaborate that a little bit before we jump around.
Where at? Dark Souls, yeah.
It was said, it's more like people we come across and meet or ruin other connections that other people have. Let's see, I want to talk a little bit more about it. Like, just, all right, so how I can take it. If someone in the band is ruining opportunities, we've dealt with this before. Like, if someone's being a fucking idiot when they talk to people, which is very common because sometimes people don't know how to talk to people.
Social skills wise, yeah.
Yeah, it's not, you can't have that person be in charge of anything. Like, you have to have someone in the band that is, like, how we used to run it, we'd have, like, 1 or 2 people in charge. But everyone would talk to each other, but they would have, like, someone talk. Like, Taylor, he would fucking do the majority of the talking. So he would just be like, here, this is what we think, go pass it on. Because we had another person in the band that wasn't very good at that. And he would fuck up connections with merch, shows, bands in general. He just put like a toxic little cloud over us. So we had to make him not fucking like handle anything. All right, you're done. Because that's going to be more detrimental to your band is trying to pull out of like, if you have that stigma, it's really hard to get out of that stigma. You have to be way cool. And when you go like be with people, you get like, oh, it's just him. Sorry, you don't want to do that.
Name a cool guy, they'd be like, well, fuck. But they're dickheads because I'm the asshole. But like, that doesn't matter if Tyler can like make up for it all he wants. But it's just like I'm ruining connections left and right. Then it's just like, fuck it. Like fuck those guys. Why would I want to work with them? They've got some. They like half of them are just like not good people. So that's a. I don't know. It's hard to find people though, man. That's kind of why we're doing something like this. Like we want to bring together people that don't suck.
Yeah.
To sum it up.
Yeah, I waited a long time to get back into a band, like a really long time. It's very hard to find the right people. Yeah, if
I didn't know that musicians were on Twitch just doing things like that. That's cool. That's an interesting different avenue to kind of explore with that.
One last thing. I'd rather not cool guy anybody, because if I can make it, connections are all you have in a band. Technically, your fans are connections.
In anything, man.
Yeah, it's just literally just in general. If you're fucking that up, you're already losing the game. You can't have that. Like, that's not a good sign. If you're fucking things up, if you're hard to talk to, if you're hard to relate with, you're not hanging out with like quote unquote fans or friends. Like fuck that, dude. Not working out. You can't have any connections lost because of someone's ability to ruin it. Fuck that.
I've gone headfirst into pop, R&B, and shit's fucking cool. Are you writing pop and R&B, Andrew, or are you just kind of go like more into the consuming side? Are you just listening to new stuff? Curious. Also, have you listened to the band Nothing Nowhere? I think that band is doing, or that dude is doing that crossover really well of like R&B and emo. That's cool, dude. Yeah, I've been seeing like I don't know. I think Twitch might be like another avenue for people to explore just as artists in general, not just gaming. Paid to play like, oh god, pay different like big Twitch streamers and shit like that. Like, hey, like I'll give you X amount of dollars to play my song during your Twitch stream, and then like all the people that are listening to it hear it and they're like, oh, what's this? Like that's
It lagged out.
You got lagged out.
Yeah, I think I'm back. I'm back, playboy. live streaming the EP tracking could be cool, but it's like a lot of takes at the same time. So you got to be like, I don't know. It's kind of weird to me. It's because I thought about like live streaming mixing, but I think that'd be weird. I'm like, I'm just gonna play this part over a lot and then move some things. I don't think a lot of people. I don't know. Not a bad idea though.
Yeah, Andrew, that's the best way, man. That's yeah, fuck, that song with Dashboard's fucking really cool. I like that band a lot. I think that dude's doing that crossover really well of a genre that not a lot of people have explored. But yeah, man, that's the best way to do it, and I think like the people will come. Like that's something me and Tyler have been like kind of thinking on the whole time. Like obviously we've already met a lot of really cool people like just in the short amount of time that we've been doing this, like whether it be having people on the podcast or people that have like hit us up and be like, hey, we like what you're doing. I think that the people will come if you have the mindset already. Like if your head is at like where you want to be in life and that's like somewhere of like big aspirations and goals, and like it's going to attract other people that have that similar view of things. Like I mean, that's just it, you know? Law of attraction style of thinking is like, if I put these thoughts out into the world, like, and your actions follow those thoughts, other people are going to pick up on that and be receptive to it and be like, hey, I want to be a part of what this guy's doing. So yeah, that's why I would never stress, like now, if I were to start a new project, doing something by myself, I just know that if my heart was in the right spot with it, then the right people would come along eventually. And that's how I feel about Black 8. I know that what we're doing is good, and I am excited about it, and that's all that fucking matters at the end of the day. I go to sleep at night, and I'm happy with the things that Tyler and I are putting out, so. Yeah, that's sick, man. The whole Twitch thing's huge community. Like lots of attention to be made there.
Here's a question: what makes people go balls deep into something that someone else is doing? What needs to be showcased? What do you mean in like, so your interest and you're trying to make other people interested in what you're doing?
That's a question. What makes people go balls? Like,
so if like you're doing something,
yeah. I'm kind of taking it as like what makes people go balls deep into something that someone else is doing. Like I'm kind of taking that as like somebody else is copying your shit. Is that what you mean? Like somebody else is like they see what you're doing and they want to do it because they see what you're doing? Is that the question?
I would assume so. Like if I wonder if it's like in a partnership thing or like as in
like with Thompson.
So, like, if you're doing something and you're trying to get someone else involved in your shit, right?
Yeah, okay.
And there, I hate being there. I can't put my phone nowheres. I have to, like, charge it, and it's, like, not fucking into it.
I know. I'm charging mine right now, too, and it's
I'm charging my
awkward angle.
Yeah, I don't know how to do this, because I have the cable now. Trying to figure it out. I don't know. It's got to be here, but it fucking hates being there. How do I show people I'm in it to win it? It would just be drive. It's what you bring to the table. It's how persistent you are on what and how you want to do it. Like, I would rather work with someone that's, like, every day working their ass off on something opposed to just being like, yeah, I'm down, dude. That sounds cool. But waiting for someone else to do it.
Bro.
Yeah, you got to wake up wanting it. So, like, That would be, and then just like if you're trying to show people that you're the shit, like start in a music sense. Let's just start there as an example. Fucking thing always disconnects. You can start recording because it shows that you're motivated to start having your ideas and learning a new craft to do that. You could do like one dude we just had on was that Daniel Fishkin kid. He's in it to win it. He's recording videos of him just talking about what he's all about. He's getting multiple songs done. And then just making sure like you worry about yourself, not what other people are trying to do. That's what, I don't know, that's my advice. What do you think, Kalman?
Yeah, I think it shows pretty apparently when I think that people can see through fake very easily. So I think if it's something that like that you're truly passionate about, then I think that shines through very easily. Whereas on the other end of that, if people are faking it till they make it, it's then I think like the real people can see through that like very, very easily. So I think as long as like what people have that they're doing, and I don't know, like you just kind of let it consume you, you know? Like I feel like a lot of people that give like that talk to me and Tyler about like, hey, like I believe in what you're doing, like I think Blackgate's sick, or just like anybody that's ever said that to me in general, or about anything that I'm doing, I think it's just because, or anyone's doing, I think it's just you, like the real, like can recognize like other things that are real, like, you know, I think it's just easy to see through like shit that's not, people aren't genuine about. So that's kind of just that's my take on it, is just like, as long as you're really passionate about it, I wouldn't worry about it. And the right people in the right situations will come about.
And stay confident in yourself and when you're doing stuff. Like, if you start losing faith, take a step back and focus on something else for a little bit. Like, I did that. I burned out with like doing one genre for too long. I was losing confidence in my songwriting, and like I took a step back, tried to write a different style of song, and then so just don't get caught up in too much shit. And then if you lose confidence, try to figure out why your confidence is leaving and try to fix it. And how do you guys feel about the whole engineer, produce, mix, mastered, release, promote your own stuff? Fuck. I think it's a good idea if you're good. I think that is more valuable than anything else nowadays, especially since how viable it is. You can go out and you can go learn how to mix. You can go learn how to track. Names do help, but I don't think it's as important as long as it sounds good. Or
if the quality's good, then it's like,
then fuck it. Then your budget's just your time, which is killer. What we were gonna do. So my band, we can pretty much do it all ourselves. It's still nice to have a name behind it, I think, or at least you can have like a reference point of like a really good release and kind of like, I don't know what Russ sell at this. I don't know what that is.
Oh, you know, Russ? Yeah, Russ is just a fairly new dude. I love that guy's story. If we can talk about that a little bit in a minute, but after we get through this, if you want to finish, were you done talking about what you were saying, Tyler?
I'll wrap.
Yeah.
My fucking cables are getting in the way. That's actually a great example then, because if that dude's doing it, then that's proof in the pudding. Like, if he can do it, why can't you?
That guy brings, like, that guy drives my point home, like, maybe harder than anyone else, is this dude, he literally released 100 songs on SoundCloud before he got anything. Like, how many people would have given up at 30, 40, 50, 60? 100 songs, and, like, the 99th one popped. And he has music videos out, like, from just, like, this last 6 months that he, like, recorded. And I saw a tweet that he tweeted the other day, and he tweeted out, like, that music video. He said, I was broke when I was filming this. And he's big as fuck now. And it's literally, like, he literally just released 100 fucking songs.
Post Malone.
Post Malone. Dude, I love, like, all these fucking, these artists, Chance the Rapper, like, I could talk for days about them. I think they're doing right. I think that our genre needs things like that. I think that, like, our genre and I mean not even just our genre, but like our scene of music of like not just heavier music, but like bands, you know, like not hip hop, not mainstream hip hop. I think that like we need like why like let's be on SoundCloud, you know, like let's drop fucking 100 tracks on SoundCloud, see what happens. Like we could do it. Me and Tyler wrote a song in a night. We could like it could be dope or it could be shitty, but the 100th one that we drop could be sick, and then we're doing stadium tours. You know, so.
And then people can find you off that and go back and listen to your other shit. So you just have content.
Exactly.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So I think that's maybe something that like we can start getting on. I think that I love that idea. Like it makes me wish that. I mean, I kind of am now. Like when me and Tyler wrote that song, I was like, fuck, like I can actually do this. Like I can drop a song. I could do an EP. You know, like I don't know. That made me excited. So.
Yeah, especially like it's as goofy as the shit is. SoundCloud rappers, you could be a fucking SoundCloud artist, dude. It's a good way. It's a good outlet because people are going there looking for music. And you happen to get the right tags or the right repost. You could have a somewhat career. I've put shit on my SoundCloud. I have songs on my SoundCloud. I have like almost 200 followers on there, and I hardly use it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's just a place you can just throw ideas out. So. I think what you're seeing.
Post Malone story's dope.
Yeah, I just watched his. He just did a Vice.
Did you watch that Noisy thing?
Yeah,
or whatever?
I just watched it last night.
Dude, I love that shit. Yeah, I watched it. Fuck me too. That's funny.
Like, what you're seeing now is they're breaking down that barrier between labels and publishers and like managers. Like, no one needs that shit anymore. Everyone could do it themselves if they have enough drive and knowledge. Not saying
like obviously, like Post signed, but like. But what did he all he did was, I mean, granted, like, you might be able to say that Post Malone got lucky, like, because he dropped that song and it blew up, White Iverson. Mm-hmm. But, like, that's just an example of, like, if that was, like, a song, that could have been, like, his 100th song, 75th song. Like, all his other ones could have been flopped. They could have been shitty. Like, I think, granted, he's a good musician and, like, it worked out. Because he's good at what he does. But yeah, I think it's just consistency and believing in it and I don't know, like, and kind of relying more on the audience. Like not so much looking towards like, oh man, I need this record on my back. Like I need somebody to put me on. Like the fans can put you on. You can put yourself on these days, you know?
The platforms are there.
Yeah.
If your shit's good enough, you know how to like get it in people's ears, you're set. Like, and you can make all your money, you know? Well, that's kind of the perk. Everything you put into it. So you can front your cost for recording and get it back pretty quick if your stuff's good.
Yeah, that, to Tony's point, I don't think I've seen a band in this kind of genre that we all kind of come from our background to do something like that. Which would be something really new, you know? Like, I haven't... Yeah, they do. Yeah, they drop covers like very frequently, I guess. So that's they're winning. They're fucking winning hard.
They get to decide when they go on tour and how much they make. Like they get to figure that out. They're doing like a European tour. They just did one. I think now they're going on one. And it's because the market's there already for them. They don't have to go there and try to grind it out to get the market.
Right.
I fucking love that. You're like, you did all the smart work, not the hard work. And then now you get the bank on it. Like that's smarter.
They've been unsigned for like 5 years now.
Yeah, I mean they started with the label.
Yeah.
See, Tony makes a good point on this too. Parody rappers make mad money, and YouTube people who use autotune also make just making parody videos. It's fucked up, but it's smart because it just goes to show it's like if you have what the people want to see or hear, you're good. And just being consistent. As you have like some dude shredding fucking guitar and he's not making a dime. Which kind of breaks my balls.
For sure. Yeah, no, it's just the way it is. Like, so you either play the game or you complain about it. Like that's it. You just gotta like play the game the right way.
And it's pretty easy to test the market too. You just can't be afraid to put yourself out there. If you can you can break down that barrier of confidence within yourself and you just go put out what you have and then just be like, I hope it does well or whatever. You're already winning. Like, you're already doing half the battle. You just...
Yeah, dude, I was scared shitless. I remember the first night that we put out, like, recorded a podcast. Like, first of all, I was nervous as fuck when we were doing it.
Yeah, same.
I was like, dude, I'm literally just sitting here talking with my friend that I've known for 15 years. Why am I feeling weird about this? But then not only that, but that night I was like, dude, what are people going to think about this? Like, are people going to think I sound like an idiot? Like, I already didn't like to hear what my voice sounded recorded. Like, I didn't like that. And, I mean, that's something now that I've gotten over a little bit more. But those are all, like, things, like, that's a good example of just, like, of things that you don't know until you try, until you do it, until you get over that fear. Like, I had that fear that night, and I woke up, and it, like, kept me up. I was like, but then I snapped out. I was like, dude, who the fuck cares? Like, I'm doing this for me. Like, I put this out there and hope that it'll help somebody else. Like, I hope that somebody listens to anything that I have to say and, like, maybe they can gain any kind of insight from it. Like, what am I going to give a fuck about if somebody's saying, like, oh, this shit's whack. Like, whack, gay. Like, dude, like, I don't care. Like, that's just, like, that's a reflection of them being sad. Like, not on me. Like, I'm probably... I'm probably good.
Exactly. Just taking that step forward. Yeah, it's scary, but like you get used to it. Feels good. I like what we're doing, just in the sense of like this is stuff I wish I had a resource to like 5 years ago. You know.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
Yeah, that's really just like we're just kind of making things that we wish that we had, which is cool. Like this is like when I found some of the people that like, I mean, I reference Gary Vee a lot, Vaynerchuk, but that dude kicked my ass into gear. Like, I really like, once I found him, like, and I started like consuming some of his shit, I was like, okay, I know what I need to do. And then I kind of just like stopped listening to him so much. And then I'll kind of like reference back to it when I kind of need a little bit of a kick in the ass every here and there. But it was like, dude, that's all I really want to do is like, if you can provide that value for someone, like, dude, I'm going to remember that forever and be like, fuck, I was 23, I didn't know what I was doing, or I was 22, I didn't know what I was doing with myself. And then, like, I listened to some shit, and then it sparked some creativity in me. So, I think that's all that it really comes down to, you know?
Yeah, I think it'd be tight to be like 40 and looking back and be like, oh, that's what kicked it off.
Mm-hmm.
Here I am now.
Sure.
I like what Tony's saying here. It's kind of crazy thing that anything at any time could just blow up and go viral. I think that kind of stuff goes to the point that you should just throw out as much content. Like the market is already flooded. You should flood it yourself. Yes and no, because you still have to bid out decent content for people to grab on it. But it's hell yeah, dude. Content, if it's good, it should work.
Right. And if it's bad, what did you just lose? Like, what? Less
Learning.
people saw it.
Yeah.
Like, it's the worst thing that happened. Like, you got 20 likes instead of your normal 50, 70, 80, like, or whatever you want to scale that to. Like, if you're a bigger brand, like, oh, fuck, dude, this piece of content I put out only got 2,000. I usually get 9,000. Like, oh, fuck, right? Yeah, that sucks so bad, dude. Only 2,000 people liked this. Like, you know, like shut the fuck up. Like, you're just trying something else, and, like, it didn't work, and then you learn from it. You're like, okay, I'm not going to do that again. So I'm just going to pump out more shit before you slap and
I love
sex.
Or monthly vacations. Fuck yeah. I hope I'm 40 on a yacht with, like, just working on a yacht.
Straight up, dude. But, yeah, I work, that's all I want this for is, like, my goal is to, I just want to work for myself, man. And I mean, that's asking a lot, you know, like, not a lot of people get to do that. But I think if you have the audacity to do it and your mind is set on it, and you know at the end of the day that the worst that can happen is you don't make it, like, like, fuck it. Like, I didn't make it. Like, but I tried. So and like, what's the best case? That it does work and then I am fucking slapping hundo stacks on some titties? Like, I'm down.
Exactly. This is like, you're just putting the little bricks down now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna invest in Four Loko, dude. I'm feeling they're gonna come back strong. They've already been back on the market for a handful of years. Time to get back into it.
Seemingly good investments are ideas.
Four Loko.
I got like $75 in Twitter stock.
Nope, they probably won't. Oh, my Twitter. I get some fake titties.
Twitter's been on like a downtrend for the past like 6 years, but I just believe in them.
I bought some cum stocks. I forget what they. I forgot what they're
Cumulative.
Yeah. So you can literally just go out and buy some cum stocks. They're like 30 cents each. I think I dropped $5 on it. Musical investments that are good investments that are horrible ideas. What are those fucking things that you use for your hands and you move the vibration of the air and it moves? What are they fucking called? Those are terrible ideas. Or I feel like a banjo would be a bad idea because I fucking suck at banjo. Yeah, thermins. That's what it was. Yeah, but I don't know about that. I don't know. What are some like good horrible ideas? Seem so broad, dude. Because what if I think it's sick? Your horrible idea could be my good idea.
All right, I'm gonna go drink a dank real quick.
Wait, I got my drink dank. I think what a good investment is more studio gear. you can kind of make money off that, or a computer that can handle a lot of shit. I'd be down for that. Or a microphone. Microphone's pretty dope. Oh yeah, fucking band name. Like that was, dude. People knew that was gonna die in like 6 months. Fucking band name fidget spinners. Terrible idea. I think my first time using one was in Vegas in an elevator, and the dude's like spinning it, and then he just hands it over to me, and I spun it, and that was it. That was my experience with fidget spinners. Scrims. I feel like scrims are pretty shit now too. Like, don't get scrims, man. Just do something cooler. Save your money for something better. Do like a backdrop, dude. Fuck it. It doesn't hide your gear unless you have shitty gear. I don't know. It's like 2010 to me. I feel like scrims are not the way to go. You might as well ball out and get like a 50-foot background fucking banner. How do you know that you're not overusing social media to the point where it's too much content and you're annoying people? You don't want to seem like a fucking ad every time you come on. I feel like, yeah, neon lights. If you're using Instagram for only ads, no one's gonna give a shit. You got to be at least personable. Twitter is a weird wild west because you can use that as much as you want and talk as much shit as you want. It's Twitter. Facebook, you want to have interactions. I don't know. You got to use your judgment of like what you're posting. If you're just being like, hey, buy my shit, no one's gonna give a fuck because no one's giving you money. But if you put it in a way to where it's like you have something to offer and then people can buy your shit if they want to, I think that's a good way of doing it. But don't do it like 5 days. Exactly. Michael fucking nailed it. Yeah, Mike fucking nailed that on the head. Good man. He's been watching some shit. Yeah, fuck the follow and unfollow shit.
All right, coming back to drop some knowledge on this motherfucking
Are you
podcast,
double fisting?
son.
All right, let's see. Are you double fisting, bro?
All right, this is for my boy Tyler, who can't make a drink to save his goddamn life.
I can't. It's true.
So, take your glass of choice. Mine is a mason jar. Fill that bitch up. About a quarter of ice. Looking good. Why not? Get a little cold beverage going. We've got
real bartending hours.
I don't know why I went with this, but some Jim Beam. Fuck, it was cheap at Albertsons, whatever. It's not the best, but you're mixing it, so who gives a fuck? We got some good old Canada Dry, some ginger ale, good shit, can't go wrong, and a big ass lime. So,
do you ever zest that bitch or no?
I'm gonna zest your ass right now.
Fucking wish you would.
Yeah, I do with the hot toddies, but I don't usually do it with this. So, to start off, this is for my boy Tyler here. He can't make a drink to save his life. We've got, for this mix to be nice, just like a nice tasting mix, you do a shot of your bourbon or whiskey of choice. Pour it in the cup first. Crack your Canada Dry. Boom.
I'm really liking this step-by-step shit right now.
And then, so I can't really get the camera down right there. What I like to do is I like to squeeze the lime and the Canada Dry at the same time as I'm pouring. Get that little fucking zesty zest going. And pretty much you're just going to kind of fill this to the top, the tippity top. And just going to give you a solid mix there. Then you're going to toss that bitch on in. Kill the Canada Dry. Mix it around with your finger like a fucking savage. And it's going to give you a good old drink.
That's some next level bullshit, man.
Yeah, you like these drinks, but sometimes I catch you at my house fucking putting like half a cube of ice in there and like 5 shots. No ginger ale.
I'm just dumping the fucking thing.
And then you're going to want to add 2 shots. You just fucking glugging away. Have you seen that video?
She's like, yeah.
Yeah, she's like, all fucking crazy.
Dev's on tour, bro. You know that. You know that about him. Yeah, I do. See, I never. All right, this is my shit. I'm gonna show just Tony. He might appreciate it.
Oh no, the Rebel. I saw that.
Dude,
I almost got it.
It's not bad, dude. It's really not that bad.
Honestly, I don't give a flying fuck what I'm using. If I'm mixing drinks, I don't give a shit, dude. Like, I'll use well whiskey all day, or I just don't care. If I'm mixing it, like, it doesn't matter. Like, people get fancy unless you're drinking straight, like, or on the rocks. Like, dude, I don't give a fuck what I'm drinking. Like, that's just the bottom line. If you're mixing it with shit, you're diluting it, so you're not getting like a full flavored whiskey if that's what you want. Like.
Dude, Sailor Jerry gets me so mean. I don't know what it is about. That's a rum, right? Sailor. No, what's that? Yeah.
It's spiced rum.
Dude, I can't do it. I get fucking mean as fuck. I get all like, a little goblin, dude. I don't like it. I don't drink it.
This is my favorite drink by far. Little lime.
I like tequila's my shit. I definitely like tequila. Whiskey's pretty good. I'm trying to switch over to just like being a hard alcohol, bro. Like fancy style though. Like you get like a nice glass, you get something good. I'm trying to transfer over.
Get one of the because I remember last time I was at your house, like just get one of the ice trays that make like the big square cube ices, and like fucking those will do you business on the if you're just doing like on the rocks shit, because you just put one of those big cubes in it and it's fucking nice. Oh shit.
Like the sphere.
Jameson and ginger ale. Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. That's my shit. I put lime in that bitch and it's fucking good to go.
Tito's vodka, I've had once. Didn't see the hype. It looked cool though. It's like the handmade. It's got like the brass top on it, right?
It's the fucking, what do they call it? They call it craft vodka.
Yeah. You know what's really fucking garbage? Is the Ballast Point hard alcohol. It's like always fucking bad.
I've never gave it a shot.
Yeah, don't.
I've never had a margarita before.
That's
never fucking partaked.
You've never had
Am I missing
one
out,
of those
though?
like Corona? You've never had like the Corona in the margarita? Where
Oh shit! I've been to Dick's Last Resort actually, and
I
had that.
Yeah, we held it in Vegas.
Yeah, that's what I've done. Okay, so I guess so. But I guess that's just never anything that I'm like, fuck yeah, margaritas.
I've seen anime titty giant ice cubes in real life. That sounds badass.
Yeah, it's fucking badass, dude.
Some anime titties. Look at Dylan. Dylan's in here. What's up today, boy?
My main man, Dill Pickle.
I'm scared to do a swiggity swag.
I'm gonna get a little closer.
We just do like a drinking game. We're like, all right, let's you go, I go.
Who gets the most fucked up?
We just pull out
We're
some
just here
cards.
for hours tonight. Like,
Yeah.
nobody's gonna go back and watch this. Like, live stream has ended. We kicked your asses off. Like, Facebook's like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
It's like 3 fucking hours deep.
I don't even know what we're at. Do you know what the time is?
No, I've no fucking clue.
Yeah, it doesn't show it.
It's
But
it's pretty. It might be 3 hours.
yeah, I can't even check the time on my phone.
Maybe.
Yeah,
just
we're going on like 2 hours right now.
dope. Rebel Yell style. It's a different kind of stream though. It's not like we're not really podcasting nothing. It's just hanging out with some bros online.
Yeah, I don't just because of the audio issues. I don't think this. I mean, this won't make it to the podcast, so it's kind of just like a weekly update. I think we're gonna start doing these a little bit more. 2 hours and 30 minutes, nice. Yeah, we'll probably start doing these. Like, we strive. Obviously, Tyler and I are like not neighbors. We live like 45 minutes away in San Diego, which is like sometimes can be a very fucking difficult trek. Like,
The mobbing.
during peak hours, that turns into an hour and a half drive. So what we plan on doing is, I mean, Tyler's done a couple on his own. I've done a couple on my own. It's kind of going more the route of like, if we can squeeze it in, like we're gonna do just like podcast with guests, like I'll do one with somebody, Tyler will do one with somebody, and then come together for certain ones that we can fit in, and then do things like this, which is just fun. Like, these are cool. Like, these are cool to kind of just do updates and like talk about what we have going on or what we think about things.
Yeah, it's just easier. And then we get to push out, hanging out with the bros. Because I want to interact more with the people watching. Because like when we're live streaming, it's kind of like, I mean, when we're doing it, it's a podcast,
Yeah.
we can't really interact as hard.
Yeah, we usually try to go to like a Q&A at the end, but it's usually kind of hectic. So I think we'll try to get like a better system down for that. But yeah, that's fun, man. I'm addicted to that shit. Like, I always go back and like I listen to our podcasts on iTunes. Like I listen to them all the way through, like when I have a long drive ahead of me or something, like if I'm heading up to like North County, like I always listen to our podcast and I'm like, fuck, dude, like it's nice to see the progress because like
How we started to where it's at.
yeah. And I mean, we're not that deep into it, obviously. I mean, we're on like episode number 12 or whatever, but it's just kind of, it's cool to see yourself grow and things like that, because like, I don't know, and it's also something I'm excited about doing, because it's, fuck, man, it's just like talking about, I don't know, you're just learning about somebody's life. Like, every time that we've done a podcast with someone, I felt like that much closer to them. Like, it's like, fuck, dude, I know like a good amount about this guy. I actually tweeted something last week. If anybody knows, I want to get a girl on, because I feel like I kind of want to get a different aspect of somebody that's doing like entrepreneurial things or artistic things that are from a girl standpoint, because I mean, obviously there's plenty of them out there. I think that we just kind of haven't had that that like somebody come through, or somebody that we had in mind. So I kind of want to do that. What do you think about that, Tyler?
That'd be cool. Yeah, get like a different perspective.
Yeah.
I think it's a whole different world.
Yeah, for sure. So that'd be really cool. I got a couple suggestions when I posted that on Twitter, so hopefully we'll have somebody with like, for more of like a female kind of outlook on things, and like how they go about, you know, their like artistic ventures and business aspects and stuff like that, because they're just as much a part of all of this stuff as we are. So I mean, we've had Randy do a couple guest blog entries on our website, which has been really cool. I think she's coming down, actually. Is she coming down this month?
She's here in like 2 weeks, or not 2 weeks.
Oh, 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah, well, cool. So we'll have her on then, which will be sick. Like that'll be cool. I want to do. I want to get some more gals on here. If anyone has any suggestions.
Yeah, or if
any inspiring girls.
Or if there's anything you guys like want to have like a guest on, like, or like a topic you want us to cover, that'd be kind of cool too. I'd like to kind of expand outside of music stuff because I feel like most of the things I do is music related.
Yeah, I want to. That's the thing is like, we never started this out just to be like, oh, it's music only. Like, it's really like anything that has to do with expressing yourself and artistic forms. So, I mean, I started this out in mind of like, one of my first thoughts was like, I wanted to do this on my tattoo artist because I thought he was so good at like what he did and his story was so cool. I was like, well, fuck, I want to do like an interview with this guy because everything was so cool about it. So I think yeah, it's not pigeonholed to music.
Yeah, it could literally just be anything. I like to have like a lifestyle chat. Well, our first one was lifestyle. We talked to like social media and shit. That was cool.
I like that. I think that's something cool that I like to bring that up with the bands that we have on. I think that's like we kind of have a couple staple things that we like to talk about. Obviously, like, we're only going to get better at like interviews as we go along because that's really all podcasting is when we have guests is like interviews. But I like talking to people and getting their aspects on social media, like where they stand on it, because everybody's kind of different on it. I feel like we've had people like Nate where he's like, that's not really my thing. And he's more of the guy that goes out and does it in real life. Like he just kind of, like he was talking how he just like he goes to Balboa and he plays every day. Whereas other people are like, yeah, man, social media is fucking everything for pushing my brand and shit. So it's cool to hear people different perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like my charger's not working. I plugged it in twice and I just got like that 10% notice.
Fuck that.
We'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's a heads up now.
Yeah, I mean, shit. It's been 2.5 hours, apparently.
What do you fools think about social media, bro? A good or a bad?
Yeah, I know, hopefully Mike's still in here. I'm curious what he knows. Tony just got back. What are your guys' thoughts on social media? How do you guys go about it with? Yeah, I mean, obviously, now that you're doing Twitch, I think that's a big game as far as marketing yourself on that.
Likes and dislikes. Like, what is it dope for? What do you hate? And what would you change?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. I remember syrup sandwiches. Dude, let's just talk about Post Malone for a second. And I just feel like that dude's like the nicest fucking guy. Like, why is he so fucking chill? Like,
I'd love to fucking kick it with Posty Maloney's.
Straight up, like, beer bonging and shit. Like, I want to do it. Dude, I'm a straight up king at beer bong. I'm going to make that for 2018. I'm going to do a beer bong with Post Malone. I'm going to write it down. I'm fucking doing it.
I'm fucking
and it's
down.
It's going to be a Bud Light Platinum.
I agree with Mike. I was pissed at that. Yeah, I'm down. I'd be down to fucking be there.
It's so weird to like market just me. I feel that, man. I think personal branding shit is kind of a beast in its own, and it's kind of something that I was doing for a long time before, like, or not a long time, but that's what I started on. That kind of got me my drive to want to do this Blackgate thing was, I marketed myself, just solely myself. I started a blog, and I kind of just documented. I just documented everything that I was doing, like any kind of adventure that I went on, really I just tried to like write out my thoughts, like, and that was it. I need to make a brand and sort of a character. Yeah, that's kind of it, man. It's kind of like you have to put yourself out there as like, at the same time, I think, you have to be true to yourself in that, because it's going to be too hard to try to keep up putting on a face for social media. So I think that the easiest way to do a personal brand thing is going to be being your true self every time, because otherwise nothing else is going to come naturally when you're trying to do it. What I found worked well for me was I just did the things that I liked, and so that was hanging out with my daughter. I know you have kids too. You could document things like that. People just like to see things like that. They like to get you to know you a little better, and it's a good way for people that you're not interacting with on a daily basis. Like, if they can take like that little sneak peek into your life, I think they kind of itch for more. They're like, like that's interesting. Like, I kind of like what he's about. So that's cool. I like that, man. I think that's kind of the way to go about it, is to be your true self when marketing as a personal brand. Yo,
Duncan the Playboy. He's dope AF.
What do you think about personal branding, Tyler? Branding yourself versus a business or something.
It's kind of weird. It's important though, because I guess a good sense of, you can have someone be their own entity, and then when they join onto something like a collective, or they do like their own band or own, like, we can make it not music related. Actors, they're their own brand. They get hired on to things, so it's very important for them to personally brand. So when they join on something, it helps sell itself.
Right. Yeah, that's a good analogy for sure. Like, I think that's actually like one of the bigger ones, is like an actor is nothing without his personal brand. Like, some of his roles that he or she has got is because of who their standing is with the community at large, like, and how they marketed themselves, like, whether that be through social media, or back in the day the way that their like PR like represented them. So I think like yeah, that's a super solid analogy. I think it comes down, like, you could, like, if you think about like bands making super groups, like that band, the super group is instantly big. It doesn't matter who the fuck is, like, it doesn't matter what the music is about. Like, it instantly has hype around it, because every single person in that band is already to be called a super group. It's big. So just because of who their names are. So it's cool.
Yeah, it's important, because like your band, I like this a lot, where you get a lot of band dudes that are in like a big band, and maybe one person's popular. If that band breaks up, no one gives a shit about the people in it, besides maybe one or two people. Johnny Craig, perfect example. That dude is Johnny fucking Craig. Does anything, is already popular.
Dude, I've thought about this analogy a little bit, that kind of like puts some big things in perspective. Think about playing like any kind of college ball, like college football, college basketball, or something. Like, you made it to college, you got a scholarship. Maybe you're not the best, but you made it to college. So think about like how big like colleges are on their sports teams. They love their sports teams. Like, they're fucking all about them. So I think like, but maybe you're not good enough to be able to get a chance to make it to the league or something like that. Like, what would be your best bet so you can make that last, like, for longevity, would be like, hey, like, I'm not like the best on the team, and maybe I don't even start all the time, but you're on the team regardless, and everyone knows who you are at the school, like, or in like the college basketball world, would be to like really push hard on social media, and like literally like direct DM people and be like, hey, thanks for coming to the game and shit like that. And even though you're not the star player, I think that like you could shine through that way. So I think that makes that analogy even towards bands too. When you think about like, if you're in a band like Johnny Craig, like, yeah, that dude's bringing the audience, but you're in the band playing guitar. What you could do is really take that extra effort to shake every fucking hand, hug every single person in that crowd that was stoked to see you that night. And that's what's going to make you get that next jump to the next level, like, that's something that I like to think about when you get brought forth with opportunities like that, is really like, you got to push the other avenues.
Take advantage of your situations so it benefits. Yeah.
Until you can get to the higher point. That's the way you get bigger, in my opinion.
Because they'll remember you if you go out of your way, and like even if they make a bad impression, they'll still remember you. So.
What is that about? Andrew lived with with
Johnny Craig.
For how long? I don't see that lasting very long.
He did it for like almost a year.
Jesus.
I could be wrong.
In Colorado?
Yeah, with Corral.
Oh shit, I had no idea.
$6 months. That's too long.
I don't know the guy personally, obviously, but I haven't heard like great things, but
he's mad. My little playboy's kind of not happy.
Mine's fucking doing some weird shit. I'd move my phone, but probably fucking bug some shit up.
He's putting his little paw in my face.
There's also a lot of things outside of the show and performing that band members can do with. If you aren't the face, then become the backbone. Help book shows, create new ways to boost your band, learn about the weirdest shit that can help. I like that, man. That's such a good outlook. Like, and that's exactly what I was trying to say. I think, yeah, there always is like those other ways that you can kind of shine through. You know, you're gonna be able to make those fans if you make the extra effort, and like people are gonna remember you even more at that show per se, is like if you made that extra effort to go like say what's up to them, even if you aren't like the face of the band. That shit is what people remember forever, not like other than just like going back to the van and fucking jacking off, you know?
Yeah, I think a lot of people think it just comes like, you see a lot of dudes that are like, oh, I made it, I don't need to talk to anyone, I'm already cool. Like, no, that's not longevity thinking. You're not thinking long term. You got to go out and get your face attached to a name and then like branch off from that too.
Yeah.
That was a good one though. Who brought that one up? Was that Tony?
That was Donkey.
Oh, Donkey. He's that. See, I met him at your meetup, and like he instantly like he was coming up to people and like we talked. So I definitely remember him like being like he's good at that shit.
Yeah. So yeah, you can use like the skills that you have. Like, so for me, if I was just to do a hypothetical, if I was in a band, but the band that I was in was like with a dude that was really big, you know, he had a big following. Everyone gave a shit about that guy, but I just played bass or something like that. What I could do to like provide value or like to have people like give a shit about me in that band, maybe like take pictures for other bands that we play with, that we tour with and shit like that. I think that's something that could like bring my name up to the next level, but also like meet cool people in the process. It's like you have to have something that provides value to people. So back to my analogy of like talking to people, if you were like on the college basketball team, if you're just like DMing people that are stoked to like that you would even think of them, like they hashtagged like the game that you were at or something, and you're like, hey, thanks for coming and watching us play. Like, fuck, as a fan, I'd be like, that's fucking sick. I don't know this guy, but I'm gonna look him up now. So that's cool. I like those different like different ways to kind of boost yourself, cut through the noise. There's always ways.
That was a good little McGange. What else we got, Playboys? Shoot some questions. Let's see what's gucky with it.
Tyler's drunk.
Maybe. Work kind of sucks. Not really. I actually like what I do.
I like working. Well, I mean, obviously work is work, but I get to work with pretty cool people, and we just kind of shoot the shit and get drunk every night and make drinks and sell alcohol and pour beers.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
So it's cool. I mean, like, I couldn't ask for more as a side job. Like, I'm so glad that I stopped doing what I was before, because I have, like, I'm up right now. Like, dude, at 11:51, like, I just wouldn't be up before, like, because I had to be at work at 7. I'd be like, fucking, I gotta go to sleep at 10 to get 8 hours. It's like, fuck all that, dude. Like,
see, my shit is super opposite. I usually don't work anytime before, like, 2 o'clock now, which is fucked up. Saturdays I work at 9, though, which is weird.
Oh, yeah, so then it gets real weird.
Yeah, so, like, I don't go to sleep till, like, way late, and then I wake up way late. It's fucked up. It's kind of like a weird, I can't win this one. Because I don't have any incentive to wake up at 6 in the morning and work. Like, if I can just work till 3 in the morning.
Yeah. That's kind of where, I mean, I've obviously got different responsibilities, so I try to wake up at like, a good time for me is if I can wake up at 9, I can get my little one to daycare, and then be, like, starting my day at 10 a.m., like, I'm solid. That's kind of, I kind of like having a morning. That's the only thing is, like, I'm not a morning person, but I miss having a morning. Like, that makes sense? Like, morning times are nice, dude. Like, you don't get, like, if I wish I was a morning person just purely for, like, how nice it is outside and shit, and, like, I don't know, you get cool vibes in the morning. Putting in effort at the worst times. I went to every recording session that any one of my bands had, and I learned so much about not only playing drums and singing, but also the recording techniques and the styles used to evolve a song. Yeah, that's a good point too. It's kind of just like staying involved.
That's how you learn, and that's how you get better. Everyone has a different. Let's say the cool thing is, like, every artist works different, every engineer works different, and you can kind of see how they come together and how they work. You can integrate that to your own workflow. Yeah, I think our shit's delayed for sure.
Yeah, something's delayed. But yeah, to kind of relate that to my own shit is doing, like, these behind the scenes videos. Is I've been only doing still pictures, the still photography. But what I want to branch into is, which I'm really excited for, is to do my first music video that's coming up really soon, which is exciting. But not only being in music videos in the past with my previous band, but also being able to do these behind the scenes type of things have given me, like, that, like, literally behind the scenes insight on, like, how music videos are shot at, like, the highest level, like, with big time producers, you know, and, like, seeing, like, what they do, how many shots they're getting, where they're getting the shots, what their camera work is. Obviously, like, a next good step would to be able to, like, sit down with somebody with, like, in an editing process. But yeah, I think, like, I don't know, man. I think that goes a long way, is just showing that extra effort. And like you said, like, you learned all of those things while you were sitting in on all those studio sessions. Like, maybe you weren't playing a pivotal role, like, but you have that knowledge going forward to where you could do it later. So
it helps you become a better producer, hands down.
What do you think, Todd? You want to kill it?
This.
We're at like 3 hours.
Yeah, it's like 11:46.
Yeah, I'm down. I'll be down to close it out.
We'll do this one again.
Yeah, we'll definitely. I think we're gonna set up a podcast for next week. Have
Maybe,
a guest on again.
Let's do it this weekend. Oh,
yeah.
You work, huh?
Sunday. I don't. Could do Sunday.
Yeah, I'll find. I think I have someone lined up actually. So
yeah, that'd be cool. So yeah, I mean, look forward to more of these. Like, these are super fun. Like, that 3 hours blew by fast just for shooting the shit with everybody and kind of talking. Hopefully we'll have, like, I want to get more people in on this and get more inputs and things like that. So that's been that was really fun. I think we'll probably end up doing these when we don't have a podcast lined up, when we can't, like, essentially meet up and get, like, the the timing correct, because it's, as everybody knows, like getting like fucking 4 people to sit down in the same room at the same time is the
Difficult.
hardest thing to do in the world these days. But
Yeah, we'll do these like
it's
at least
been
once a
fun.
week. Thinking.
Keep it, I guess, parting words. Keep a lookout for merch. We're getting printing going this week. Super stoked on that. So
More people just joined in. We got like.
that's funny. Nah, wrong timing, homies.
You can start it from the beginning after this.
Yeah, see, peace out, bros.
It's-
Nah, yeah, thanks for coming in. That was really fun.
Yeah, we'll have more of these for sure. All right, you guys are the real MVPs.
Peace out.
Until